how they deal, as Xingqiu was able to get that pull through and only get the half pull on these creeps connecting it. As Miposhka wants to keep that pressure on Xingqiu, needs to be careful here. Obviously, only level 1, so doesn't have that splinter blast.
Error tadi guys, sorry.
Dagger on his way back home.
Just to send him all the way back here. And now, yeah, Collapse. So we talked a lot about Collapse and his hero pool. And, of course, you've heard a lot, I'm sure, about the Mars. Heard a lot about this Magnus that's looked pretty good. But the other hero that he has...
Tadi error guys, sorry. Tadi aba crash gara-gara PC nggak mati-mati dari 2 hari yang lalu.
But can often make those huge plays.
Oke, kita lanjut guys.
Talk a lot about how maybe there's going to be some overlapping things going on with Mira and the Axe, both trying to find that big jump.
That Seb guy? Oh, yeah. That's that guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
With the axe. Wow.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But we'll see how it goes here in this one. As you can see already, the chase down Faith Beyond taking a little bit of a beating here on this Magnus.
Aduh, kenapa sih begitu, Cok?
And at least for the moment, you can see that Spectre taking a
Ayo
little
guys,
bit
di-share lagi guys. Anjrim.
Not able to get all those last hits yet.
Bisa pakai acara nge-crash.
Trying to go toe-to-toe with Ame in the bottom lane on that Luna.
Go, Ame! Dum. Go, Ame!
It's always been one of the absolute best heroes versus the Spectre. Whenever you're just talking about like just raw data in terms of games played. And that's because like you get some pressure in lane sometimes. If you get this sort of a matchup, that's always nice, right? Spectre likes to be left alone. But more importantly, when you get into the mid game with the Tombstone drop down, you actually get all these zombies popping up. Right? And it really ruins the team fight for the Spectre, especially when you're trying to deal some damage there with the Desolate.
Can see a bit of a rundown again.
Kenapa tadi apa guys? Tadi apa namanya nge-crash?
Playing as far forward as he can, but has to be very wary of those skewer backs that we've seen time and again as why.
Orang lagi nanti kasih suruh
bit of a
musik.
chase onto Mira, the lucid beam and dead. I just takes him down.
Collapse just can't do anything. Just like, sorry, you know, I'm just going for some creeps here. It does have 20 last hits compared to the 9 of Ame, so.
Tadi kenapa off gue bilang guys. Tadi nge-crash, PC gue udah 2 hari nggak mati-mati. Ame yang mana bang? Ame yang itu pakai Luna, yang nggak ngerti Luna.
Actually a really interesting one too, right? Actually going for this Vanguard, because you know a lot of heroes they're going for the Helm. They're building into something else based off of the Helm, the Iron Will. But Collapse able to go for this cheaper Vanguard, but for Axe, that's an item that can actually accelerate your farm quite a bit with the
Guys, nonton guys, nonton.
Get chased a little bit there, but will back out afterwards. And you can see at least now the very slight lead that we're seeing into the favor of LGD. Nothing really to write home about. Both the mids doing fine. We haven't really seen either that many stacks on the Ancients. None done up yet as some good damage there out on the Bane. Gonna chase down. Lucid Beam. Will it be enough? I don't think so. Why? Oh, maybe it will. All right, the rotation comes in. And they will be able to keep their Bane alive.
Yeah, he was buying out there. He wasn't sure he was going to live, so he's going to run all the way home. But there are the stacks that you were just mentioning. A double done there by Miposhka in the dire jungle. So something for this Templar Assassin to fall back to. They want to stack her up nice and early. When you're trying to play around this Templar Assassin, you can stack your Ancients, you can stack all of your neutrals across the map, and she can cleave through them very, very quickly. Just trying to align these earlier items like the Blink or the Deso, maybe a Falcon Blade in these times right now. So they need to enable her to get this game online.
Yeah, and of course, then if you're LGD, you're going to look to try and go in there and invade those stacks and get some damage dealt. But already, a Torrent combo comes out. Y makes that move towards the mid lane that he always does. And just trying to burn through the refraction instances and make Toronto Tokyo a little bit less comfortable.
Yeah, not a matchup we see all too often, honestly, with the Kunk and the Templar, but you do have that interaction, as you're mentioning, where you can get multiple instances of damage from the Torrent, so...
Fun from Smash with me.
I'm going to come take a look here and say, oh yeah, nicely done. I think I'll stack this up one more time.
And Mira also stacks all across the map.
What I really like, too, is this defensive ward that they have right next to that stack they're doing, because you often see this ward like late game, when you're talking about like Roche and everything, you're trying to cover that, but a lot of teams are coming in contesting neutral stacks right now. It's one of the themes of this tournament is up top. That's another theme.
Team Cepirit! Gak mati Team Cepirit, ya Toro guys, ya Toro!
Level 6 rotation from the Kunk. Very disappointing to not get the kill. And they can't even really follow up the tower pressure, but on the other side of the map...
Axe.
Slaps.
Axe.
There. Creeps run off of him. And with a couple quick hits, will they have another lucent beam for the finish?
Begitu.
Vanguard keeping him very
Mati
close.
dong dia.
Goes away for the spin. Has to be careful on Y. There's the fairy fire.
Woi si anjas. Dah gue bilang Ode, ini
I can
dua
tell you this
kose,
guy's
dua
not gonna
sama
get any
ini.
crimson witnesses, 'cause he is not lucky.
No. Not enough spins there for the axe. And a
Dua
good usage
sama
of
ini.
the
Siapa
nightmare
yang
to
tim
take those
Spirit?
crits off
Siapa
the-
LJD
stop the
bos?
potential counterplay.
LGD bos.
But the missed gank on the Spectre gave so much free time to Toronto Tokyo.
Gila,
Because again, another
Ini
stack.
tuh
And,
kalau
well,
main
if you
TA
don't go
guys
for
di
that kill, the
stack-stack
other option of the
tiba-tiba
Kunkka is
langsung
moving through that
panen.
jungle, doing that rotation,
Ngentot
checking
banget,
out the
Cok.
stack, seeing what's there, maybe stealing a
Pas
couple, of
panen,
course. And
duitnya langsung
will
membagung
surely make,
duitnya.
his way over there. And why I'm just gonna say, I think we'd like to maybe get an eye on these ones at the very least. We'll block for future stacks, but can they even come and contest this?
I mean, there's already a lot of gold built into that. That's going to be such a big injection. And the thing about the TA is you just take it so quickly, and maybe if they pair together with Collapse, already having that Vanguard done.
Yeah, it's a tough call too, right? Like, because if you
Yeah,
want to move
pause
in there,
lagi,
say,
kudu
SPSG,
cuki.
LGD, oh, good, we have time to think about it at the very least. You have the night vision bonus.
Right.
That's there, right? Of course, that's going to be expiring soon. You got 2.5 minutes to work with. You're not going to have any Eclipse early, though, because, you know, you're obviously stacking into Lunar Blessing. You're getting yourselves your Glaives. But you also have Undying. You have
Neymar main
Kunkka.
gak bang?
I would say it's
Main
very
guys, Neymar
tempting
main.
for them to come and
Main
contest
bola
this
dia
and at least
maksud.
like try
Bukan
and
main Dota,
mess
main
with them
bola.
to try and get some of the XP.
Well, they're going to drop
Combo.
the boat already. Mira
Serpet.
with the stun,
Tung.
but will eventually, go down.
Tas.
Yes. Zinq finds the kill, but this is again buying that
Ini
space
gue
for
yakin
Toronto
ini
Tokyo.
udah kelihatannya dua sama ya.
Soul Rip to secure here. And Zinq is like, I'm getting over there. You know, I want to steal some of this. Gonna find a stacked up neutral camp there too.
This is just all they're focused on. And
Here's
Zinq,
Tombstone in 3 seconds.
why? Are they really going to go for this?
I mean, a lot of them are really low. This is pretty. I say do it. Yeah.
He goes for it. Getting
Let's
a couple
go.
Dota
already.
bukan
And the
MOBA
fair
bro.
stringer for
Weh,
the team, the
Dota
two
tuh MOBA
support,
goblok.
there's an axe and a Templar assassin.
Oh my God, they're just going to get him.
There's another
Dota
lane.
itu termasuk MOBA.
I mean, this is
Bukan
huge.
mobile.
You're also
Ban-
already
perbedakan
up
MOBA sama
3,000 net
mobile.
worth right now on LGD, but they
Ya,
immediately
mobile tuh
take it.
handphone.
All right, he got a lot of them,
Kalau
though.
game
Now, can
MOBA
you
ya
get
begini,
out?
game
That's the
MOBA.
question.
Game
I mean,
MOBA
at
itu
least
ya
one of these heroes is
kayak
gonna
Dota,
die. Zinq,
LOL.
surely at least one of them goes down, but maybe
Tuh
not.
game
He
MOBA,
pops out that
AOP,
horse. The chase down here is
Vainglory,
there.
Mobile
Holy
Legend.
grace. The back away, they
Itu
use
game
all
MOBA.
of this, and
Kalau
I
game
don't know if
FPS
they're
itu
getting
kayak
anybody.
PB, kayak
It's
PUBG,
LGD,
kayak
and
Free
they're on the
Fire,
boots, though.
CSGO.
And they
Itu game
clean out that
FPS.
hard camp also. LGD
Bagi yang
are
nggak
all
ngerti
over
itu udah
this.
gue bilang.
They take down the Undying, but lose out on a bunch of other net worth.
They force so many heroes to respond. Look at the top lane. The
Yeah.
Helm and the Dominator, Faith Beyond. He's taking the tower.
This is clean stuff. LGD, they
Wajar
found their
wajar.
mojo.
Kayak
This is what
player
they
nggak tahu
needed.
tim MOBA dia.
That is a large lead. 4K right now at 9 minutes. Like, and look where it is. I mean, it's just all stacked on the court.
Kenapa
right
tadi
now
Mati
for
Usul kan
PSG
nonton bang?
LGD.
Nggak apa-apa guys.
Poshka
Santuy.
scouting
Tadi tuh
out
apa?
Y off to the
Nge-crash
side.
gara-gara 2 hari laptop gue nggak mati.
He's looking for it. They move over. Faith Beyond's here as well. And
Bang
with
main
this
OL
Helm
gak?
and
Enggak
Dominator
guys.
creep, it
Gue mah
should
sebelum
be
Mobile Legends
enough.
tuh Dota. Gue player
And also
Dota.
coming in to contest this, nothing
Gue
to
cuma
say.
2 game dari dulu.
Well, it's
Dulu
just
doang
the
gue main
jungle.
Dota
It's so
semenjak
cheap,
itu,
right? It's just a nightmare
semenjak
into a torrent. They're threatening the whole
semenjak
time. We've got our
gue
feet,
merasa
we've got
Dota
both.
gue
You don't
nggak ada
wanna
untung
come
apa-apa
contest
di
this. They're
Dota,
gonna have
gue
Fiends Grip
pindah
pretty
guys.
soon here as well for why. As he goes for a real deep ward.
Back behind.
That was pinged though. All right,
Yeah,
they
they
have an
know, they
idea.
know.
that
Bukan
that's
berarti
there.
kalian player
That
Dota
one was gonna
nggak bakal
scout.
punya
Good
duit
thing
ya.
that was there,
Kita kan
so.
beda-beda
Those
nasib
very
gitu.
deep wards on the earlier end will be instantly TP to by Maposhka and just give them that. I don't think so.
Yeah, see, this is
Lu lagi di Bali,
LGD
Bali,
we
di Bali,
expected
di
to
Bali.
see. Up 5,000 net worth right now.
Keren stream
10 minutes
ML.
in.
Kita nonton dulu
What
guys
a
grand final nih
turnaround that
bos.
they've been able to
TI.
have. As this series was looking dire straits for them after the first 2 games, but now coming into this game number 4, everything's going their way.
All right, well, in the past, what has
Kita
turned
siapa
these
dulu,
games
ah.
around for Team Spirit, it's been Collapse. You know, showing up, making the plays, but he's got some time. Wants to get that Blink Dagger done on the Axe first. In the meantime, there are a lot of heroes coming to his mid tower.
Oh my God, they're bringing numbers. Everybody's here. Poshka, level 5 on that Wyvern, going to try and throw out these Splinter Blasts and slow things down as much as possible, but that Tier 1 tower is already dead.
Yeah, they're just holding the Tombstone. Again, such a great job of just like not expending anything, right? They're just threatening. They're just holding all this strength.
And Collapse, they caught him again. The Nightmare's there. Do they have enough for the kill, though?
Oh, yeah.
They are going to chase him down. Wait for it. Fiend's Grip afterwards. Easy as pie. They
Gue
take
swipe
him
dulu dah.
down. This is a stomping we got right here. Toro is going to need to play his heart out right now.
He is so
Nah, kuda swipe up, guys.
It's insane.
He's almost getting doubled up on right now.
Like, the Undying is almost caught up to him in terms of net worth with that Tombstone drop and then the Ancient Steel. Such an impressive performance for them in Team Spirit. They just really don't have an answer right now.
It felt like they got lost halfway through the draft and they still haven't found their way.
Oh
Well, and you think about that draft, right? They burned through so much of that reserve time early on.
Ini sudah menit 11, duitnya udah beda 6K anjing
Trying to
LGD.
find a perfect hero, and so far the team hasn't been able to do
Ya
so.
hahayu.
Part of that is just that it's such a one-dimensional plan that not only can you like prepare during the draft as what to do, but in the actual game, like they were so quick to come in and ward up these ancients. Sure, they missed out on some of the plays in the top of some of those neutrals, but the contest in there, the space made for Faith Beyond to get absolutely massive. No one is even contesting Ame at all, just freeform.
Di Dota ada penjoki kado, ada lah.
This has to be like
Ya
the
kali nggak
biggest
ada.
Axe Blink reveal and Deso reveal on a TA of all time.
Yes. They've got to get a
Kursor,
ton
oh,
here
yeah.
on Team Spirit. And of course, that also means that LGD need to be the ones that run into them to allow for that fight to happen.
Juaranya bisa beli
Not
supercar
an
1
easy
divisi.
ask, but again, you've
Supercar
got
mah
some big
berapa kalau
combos
mereka
here,
juara,
right? You've
Cuk?
got that winner's curse into a big call afterwards. Lion
Beli
stun.
10 mah bisa.
The combo is there if they can find it.
The fights are so hard though.
Looking for it right at the start. The boat's going to come out. And now the slowdown. Mira in some trouble. Collapse back behind the tower.
Ayo LGD, ayo LGD.
He needs to TP out of here.
He bought his blink.
Yeah, he's
no one else die.
as long as
Gue
they're
bilang
able
gini
to get
pur
away,
dulu,
that should
bukan
be good
pur
enough
sih
for them.
guys.
So they
Emang
get the
kebantai
kill.
sih game,
Fabian finds it, but
game 1 sama
also
2,
on
tapi
the
ini
other
mereka
side,
bantai balik.
wide
Buset!
open Mira. 8-1
Dah gua
to start
bilang,
this game.
3-2
Throws
LGD
down a
win.
ward to secure the kill. Mira, of course, instantly noticing
Penjoki di
that,
Dota
but,
lebih mahal
I
harganya
think Wise
dibanding
gonna call
ML.
Ward 'cause
Kalau
to make the
masalah
tower
harga memang
easy
lebih
to
mahal
take.
Dota guys.
But
Tapi
Poshka
kalau
was
bilang lebih
thinking about
lebih
leaving
laku
himself
mah
in
Mobile
behind that
Legend.
and maybe finding a winner's curse if they want to actually contest to the tower. But I think the call's been made. But from the
Kalau
rest of
kalian
Team
bilang
Spirit, they're just
pendapatan
not
di
ready for that
Indonesia
yet.
tetap Mobile Legend lebih banyak.
Yeah, they need those
Tapi kalau
items.
membandingkan sama pro player
Need to
mereka
hit
ya
that
jelas pro
timing.
player mereka guys.
7 kill lead, 7,000 gold lead,
And
and Ame still hitting creeps.
I mean, he's just doing what he needs to in this one.
Pro player
Taking a
mereka
look
sekali
already
sekali
at that
juara-juara gitu
win
buset.
probability, they're heavily into the
Miliaran.
favor of
Don't put that
LGD.
away. No, come on.
Puluhan miliar,
We got
ratusan
a game going
miliar,
here.
My goodness gracious.
miliar dah pokoknya dah.
Nightmare is down. Poshka gonna trade it over onto him. They have this blink. Want to reveal, but the only people down here are supports, and that's not big enough.
Kalau penjoki TI ada gak bang?
Also
Ada guys,
covering
Ana.
it all.
Ana penjoki
But
TI.
maybe now Team Spirit can at least
Bang
try
sini
and
berapa
pressure and get
skornya?
this tower
Itu
and
kan
get some
ada
momentum
itu di
going for
atas
themselves,
itu
'cause
guys. Kalian tuh
if they don't get something
punya
going soon,
mata
this
kok
game
gak
is gonna go
dipakai gitu
completely off
kan.
the rails.
I mean, you can already see them struggling here, though, right? Like
Ini
they're
skornya
bringing everyone
2-1
down
tapi
here,
udah
they're
mau
looking
OTW
for
2
that
sama
fight.
ini
Everything
LGD
that they
win.
need has to be perfectly layered. The call, the curse, trying to find the
Bang,
sight
hati-hati
lines, the
live-nya.
Templar
Kenapa
assassin.
hati-hati?
and Toro caught. Fiend's grip is
Takut
there,
copyright
and
atau
no
apa,
help
enggak,
nearby
santai.
at all. They're gonna kill off. That's Spectre.
Santuy.
I love seeing Q doing that, just dropping the tombstone. It's just such an important kill.
Dota
for them
nggak
that they're willing
baperan
to
Dota
throw
guys.
everything that
Dota
they
tuh
have right
game
there.
game Sultan.
And immediately afterwards, they're thinking about going to Roche.
Ya kali Gaben
why
baper
not?
guys.
Yeah.
Valve mau
They
baper,
could
nggak
Roche, they could
mungkin.
start pressuring that tier 2 top, but the tier 2 top.
Masalahnya
is
yang
riskier, right?
yang
You're
nge-restream
gonna have
live gini bukan
this
cuma
attempt
gua
to call
doang,
from the
banyak.
I will say they actually don't have great vision right now onto that high ground. So theoretically, if there was something there from Team Spirit, maybe they'd have a chance. But perhaps they just have the really good read that they are all in the bottom lane right now, waiting for them to come to that bottom tower. And it's taken so fast.
So Roche gonna be claimed, and again, Team Spirit.
Kena
need to
bantai
find
tim
an answer.
Spirit.
LGD
Ya
wanna
ini
try
kena
and close
bantai ini
this
guys.
one
Tapi
out.
game 1 game 2 ya kena bantai
Put
LGD.
themselves in a
Udah
dominant
beda 8.000
position.
menit 14, menit 15 udah beda
Already Wise
8.000.
gonna head up here, try and get
Apa-apaan
down the
ini?
deep ward. We'll see if that one bears any fruit. As LGD
Bang,
will
kenapa
retreat
gak jadi
back,
pro
get
player
their next
Dota?
set of items, and then be
Gak
ready to
bisa
go.
guys.
Very
Nggak
reminiscent of
nggak apa
game
ya.
2. Now, mind you, it happened a lot later in the game, but
Nggak bisa
essentially we got to the
nandingin pro
point
player
where Team
mereka di
Spirit
luar
was just
sana guys.
running around
Terlalu
with
OP.
this Luna and
Yeah.
looking like, you know, what are you going to do as LGD? You have to wait for this perfect
Bobo
moment to find
LGD
your
menang.
fight.
Dah dari
Team
awal
Spirit
udah
now
bilang
find
LGD
themselves in
menang
that
ini.
situation.
Cuma gue
And
bingung
one thing
aja
that they
mereka
obviously
awal
recognized
2-0
when they
cok.
played that Luna strat was just stay together. Don't let the pickoffs happen. Can they
Tuh
find a
Dota
pickoff right
kok
here?
keras banget bang sini.
No. Look
Ya
how
iyalah.
safe. Nothing to say
Makanya
playing there with
gamenya
the
lama.
axe.
Zinq might be the one that gets found. The jump forward call, it's off the mark. And instead, he just heads off to the
He's
side.
coming
There's
with
the route. Collapse has to back out of here. I mean, there's more people coming nearby. Toronto Tokyo gets skewered back. He's caught alone.
Mati
Can they kill
lagi.
him off? RP, but the winner's curse is trying to
Betum.
turn this boat afterwards. Finishes
Oke
off.
guys.
That's
Udah,
it. It's
gak usah
not enough.
lama-lama.
It's not
Tim
nearly
Cepirit.
enough. And if they're not careful, they might lose more. The chase forward Hex, Mira,
Oh,
X
the
marks the
X
spot
too.
as they'll
Oke
pull the
guys ya.
Lion back.
Benar-benar kena bantai di
Another
sini
kill,
saudara-saudara.
LGD, no mercy.
Saudara-saudara, ini sepertinya memang terbantai seluruh.
It's looking rough. It is looking rough for Team Spirit.
Is that a spirit breaker in that draft?
Yeah, I don't
what
know.
This is? Because something happened.
They turned up on PSG LGD. They were not going to go out like that.
Well, it's looking like a completely different series at this point. I mean, Team Spirit, you know, the fun loving, we're just having a good time. Good times might have come to an end right now, at least in this game. And you know, it gets to the point where as the game continues, you just wonder like how much the looking like potential game 5.
Potentially. I mean, again, you never count this out. We've seen teams come back from more than this against LGD to win a TI. But can they do it again here? Spectre, so often that late game answer, and they just need to find a good fight on Team Spirit to pull this one back. The question is, will LGD give it to them? Underneath a ward, this could be the way it starts.
Bang?
They've played so
Gue bilang gue tuh sebelum mobile itu
Offering
Dota
up anything
dulu.
over Team Spirit now. They do have some good vision down in that bottom jungle. If there was ever a chance to go for something, it's probably towards that part of the map right now.
Tim yang pegang Magnus kayak naik persen winnya, wok. Iya, wok. Bang Sin, ini game apa? Ini Free Fire, guys.
To really fight into this.
Oh,
Toronto Tokyo skewer.
Oh, wih, udah. Toronto Tokyo.
Oh, just like that, Toronto Tokyo able to get a little bit of separation, but they still have that night vision and face beyond. With the chase down, they got him there to the side. Nobody coming to help the TA.
Kena bantai. Senang gue lihat mereka kebantai karena gue dukung LGD juara.
12K gold lead. LGD.
Gua dukung LGD juara, bos.
Team Spirit are waiting for the Aghanims on this Spectre. That is going to be their go play. They might
mati lagi.
There too.
Memang.
Until then, it's just throwing out heroes. You know, take me. Try and slow down this tower push.
How close are we now to that Aghanim Scepter? It's what, 50 gold away for this Spectre? Again.
I mean, it's been a fantastic item, but as you heard
Terbantai.
Seb and Nortel say, the damage is
Terbantai.
And they needed that early lead to actually provide some damage. They needed the items on Team Spirit. They don't have the items.
Right. Well, and it's such a good answer here, right? With that Undying being able to sit right up front there with the tombstone, and then Luna can hit the tower. Because the way that Team Spirit win the fight is like when chaos happens and you get a giant curse or something, and they're just not being presented that opportunity.
Although, if there is one hero that's very good at breaking formations, it is Spectre.
Right? The
Haunt comes out, there's question marks everywhere, you're not sure where the real one is, and then it's providing vision to the rest of Team Spirit, and then you find the jump. And Axe, a hero that, with the Blade Mail, can turn some of your advantage into a disadvantage.
Looking for something here. It's just a shadow step to start. Now the call.
Okay.
And now they're leaving him alone for the moment. Turning on to the other supports. Collapse going to TP out. It's not going to happen. Collapse will go
Terbantai ya guys ya.
Toronto Tokyo pulled back in. Refraction gone. And now
terbantai ya guys ya.
Again, Mira hoping to salvage this, but it's not going to happen one by one.
Ya, soalnya abis media dari tadi.
And that was going into a fight with 30 seconds left on the Aegis too.
Oh,
so just like even if you get some of those kills, the reset potential there from LGD. But Team Spirit, you know, they felt the situation that they had to find some sort of fight maybe outside their base.
Buset, kebantai menit gini.
Yeah.
Menit 20, cuma 1 kill, 16-1.
Are you kidding me? Make the play happen.
Mampus.
And now focusing down the barracks at 20 minutes. 17-1.
I mean,
siapa yang bilang 3-1? Siapa yang ngomong 3-1?
They're hoping for something, anything at this point.
Siapa yang bilang 3-1? Ini duitnya udah nggak otak ini, coy, udah membeda 20k. Menit 20 anjing. Ini nggak bisa lah, udah kena pressure gini.
Oh my goodness, they just have to give it up. There's no other answer. There's still a tier 1
down
bottom at the very least, but
menit 20 2 barak hancur, cok.
I love how this team plays Undying.
Gue senang sih guys, LGD menang. Ayo game 5. Udah GG lah. Lama kali mau GG. Biasanya kalau gue nonton sebelum-sebelumnya masih begini udah GG gara-gara udah gak kuat. Menurut lu siapa yang juara? LGD lah.
Just looking like a perfect answer
So
when
tahu
it
lu
comes
Bang
to the
Sin.
effect of the
Ya
game.
astaga so
And I
tahu.
just think again, like what a redemption
Mana
arc
itu
this
ya?
has been for Ame to be able to pull
Ya
this
udahlah, gua
back
sok
on
tahu
that
aja lah.
Spectre in game 3 and now in game
Ya udah,
4,
gua sok tahu aja lah.
Argentina playing incredibly clean Dota, constantly 4-0 and 7.
Yeah.
Hero favorit lu apa Bang? Gua hero favorit gua sebelumnya itu gua waktu zaman Dota itu paling gua Juggernaut,
Surely it was.
Juggernaut, Sven. Pokoknya gua carry lah guys. Kalau mid itu paling gua cuman
We'll see though.
suka di Invoker, Tinker sama SF
Mira
palingan.
gets the hex off, but they call collapse. Mira's gonna try and TP out of
Kalau
here.
di carry Sven,
Does
Juggernaut,
manage to escape,
Morpling,
but the axe is down.
apa ya?
Toronto Tokyo. Oh, cancels TP?
Ember kan, Ember juga bisa di carry, bisa di mid.
There's,
Ember
if
bisa
the
pos
towers
1
go
atau pos
through, you're
2
not
kalau
gonna be able to try
Ember.
to catch the next wave.
Gua juga suka Ember sih, kan gua ambil nama Sin dari Ember.
I'll give you that.
Ember Spirit.
Careful. Toronto Tokyo got to be careful there.
Stand perfect. Oh, I know this one from my pubs. Yeah. Got to keep the GPM up, you know?
Mean lane, they got him. Toro forced to jump away from this one, but nothing to
Ntar,
say. Still got
ntar
him in
kayak
the
OG
sights.
versus LGD dulu
Able to
Bang,
throw
kayak
out that
TE8.
earth spike that they're hunting
Enggak guys,
for
kalau ini
more.
seperti ini udah bakal zamannya LGD guys. Soalnya mereka kasihan nggak pernah juara. Terakhir iya, hampir final-final iya, juara enggak.
End up falling there to Xingqiu, and now they're heading up again.
Fake Beyond has had this troll for so long. I feel like he wants to end the game with it, you know?
Nggak
like
ngerti
reward
Dota,
it
kalau
for
nggak
its
ngerti
servitude.
Dota ya.
Well, this might just be the
Ya,
time. I mean, Ame is
itulah
out
kalau
there.
nggak ngerti ya
Send
udah.
them in.
Roche's
Kenapa
capable.
mereka nggak GG ya? Oh mereka udah pasti kalah gitu kan?
No Magnus to pull him back into the
Nggak ada
fountain.
cita-cita mau ketik GG gitu.
This has to be the jump, right?
Poshka behind. He's got winner's curse, waiting for an opportunity, but can they
Well,
get an opening?
There's no TA for 10 seconds. That might be an
Oh,
issue.
it's dangerous.
Nggak ada
At some
nggak ada
point, have
cita-cita
enough.
gitu.
And TA, without a quick way to get in there, they'll have to let it go for the moment. But
Masih
Maposhka,
di
they
Dota ada
still got a
cheater
ward
gak?
here.
Dota
And now they
2
don't.
Collapse has been smoked for
yang
so
gue
long.
main-main
They
sih,
just can't find
yang
an
gue tau
opening.
ada
LGD
cheater
just
tuh
this
Dota 1 guys,
impenetrable
map
wall
hack.
that doesn't break formation.
Kalau Dota gua
they
Dota
just keep
2
popping
sih,
them, but they
gua
can't find their fight.
nggak pernah ketemu cheat Dota 2.
They might even be running
Kalau
low at
Dota
this point.
1 ya iya,
19-1.
map hack banyak, Cok.
So now with Roche respawned, LGD dotting their I's and crossing their T's.
Gua akui sih
and looking
Dota
to
game paling
close this
susah
one out
yang
with the
gua
shard in tow.
mainin dari
This
zaman
is an
SMP butuh waktu
emphatic
lambat.
victory at this point.
Kan
Yeah,
gua
yeah.
aja main
This is
main
not the way
Dota
you wanna go into a game
kelas 6
five
SD
from
itu
Team
Dota
Spirit.
1. Gua jago
It's
itu
one
dari
thing to
Dota
just, like,
2
have a
pas kelas 2
loss
SMA
and
guys.
sort of be like,
Berapa
okay,
tahun
well,
tuh?
you know, we couldn't close it out in 3.
Kelas
but
6
that's
SD
cool.
sampai
We
kelas
can
2
do it for
SMA.
whatever. You remember those 2 games, guys?
Right.
How
They
much
seem
we
a long time
dominated.
ago.
Dan gua terakhir MR kelas
Seems
3
like a
SMA
very long time ago at
6.900.
this point.
Itu pun kelas 3
Faith
SMA.
Pulls back
Gua
there.
main dari
Dual
SD kelas
scepter
6,
afterwards,
bayangin
but
nih
nobody's
selamanya.
close enough to turn that into a fight. Another shadow step used just to slow down Faith Beyond from going in for another round of this.
Udah lagi gila.
On the map down there.
Lama banget, Cok.
Throwing every trap possible to hold
Lanjut
on that
game
1,
5.
2, right? Force them to go
Biar
for
lebih
the
seru
throne.
game terakhir. Biasanya
They're
kalau game
gonna
terakhir
do
tuh
it.
gamenya
Walks
seru
right
biasanya
on in.
sih.
Happy to oblige.
Ame, he's
Ini
ready.
si Luna Maya udah
He
push-push terus si
wants
Luna
to
Maya
not
ini.
relive the ghost
Yeah,
of
mati
the
sama
past. He wants to
pantul-pantul
close
si
this
Pai
game
gua
out
mah.
here in style. And so
GG.
far he's doing it. Turns now on
Udah
to the
GG
H1
aja.
afterwards. Where's the fight?
Nggak
I'm
terima
not
kekalahan
seeing
si
it.
tim Cepirit
Going
ini.
deathless so far. They turn now into Y.
GG aja
Turns
tim
to the
Cepirit.
front. Oh, the catch on to collapse. Y's not dying. Nobody's dying.
GG aja lah tim
They
Cepirit.
all
Nah,
fall
udah GG guys.
again as GG is called 23-3.
Oke guys, tim Cepirit.
From LGD.
Udah lihat.
Link call.
It didn't happen.
Like,
It was just
the
too good.
whole game, that was crazy.
Sudah lihat guys, siapa yang bilang tim Spirit menang 3-1? Siapa yang bilang?
This lineup was not allowed to operate in any facet whatsoever for Team Spirit. And it may be even in game score. It's 2-2, but
Spectre late game
it's
bisa
not feeling
gendong-gendong bang.
like
Gua
there's
juga
much chance
ngerti
right now.
cok.
I mean,
Cuman
we
ini
gotta
mas saya udah kena pressure. Kan tuh semua hero carry di late game itu jago.
That's confidence right there.
Cuma masalahnya itu kita itu bukan langsung jadi gitu kan. Kita butuh farming, butuh space create,
Let us skip
butuh
the
space
step there,
creator
yeah.
gitu.
Hey, they're feeling a lot better.
Bukan kalian late game jadi.
They're okay though.
Kayak gini. Kayak gini yang contoh kayak gini. Kayak gini. Mau late game gimana? Semua farming diambil Luna. Map udah dikuasain sama si apa?
You just say like,
Sama si LGD.
I think we can all agree the draft looked rough. Thus the game looked rough. So you go forward, you shift things up, and Team Spirit will hopefully give us more of a challenge.
Emang pro ML dari Dota ya? Kebanyakan banget.
See if it ends up playing out, but for now let's head back to the panel.
The series is tied 2-2. We will go into a game 5 here in these grand finals at the International 10. I'm joined by BSJ, FC, and Jenkins.
May Dota 2 bisa main di HP nggak, Bang?
Jenkins, I want to start with...
Babi Ngana.
Well, let's start with Team Spirit doubling their skill score
Babi
in the
Nana.
final second.
I don't know if there's any breaking down these games.
Ini Dota ML cepet amat. Bukan Dota ML ini, guys. Free Fire.
How does every TI end like this?
No, it
At
doesn't,
some
though.
point, it's got to
Seru nih Bang yang game 5.
I
Yoi.
don't understand.
Seru dong.
It's like the amount of people that came up to me today. It's like, okay, so
Gak tahu apa-apa Bang, tapi gue yakin LGD menang. Iya, ini LGD udah comeback, ini dari 2-0 udah 2 sama.
LGD is gonna shellac them. And then after game 1, it's like, oh my god, dude, LGD's lost it. They're done. And then that happens. Literally, whatever you think will happen won't happen. So what do we do?
Naman juga LGD, guys.
I'm sorry. I just can't believe it. Year after year, TI, it just delivers.
It is just delivering, Effie. It's a great series so far.
Oke guys, udah
Well, there's
menang.
so
Jadi
much
kita
to
menunggu
say,
aja
but
gitu kan.
I just want to comment on the mental fortitude that PSG LGD just showed, because a lot of us in the green room, we were sitting and watching the game, right? And after those 2 stomps, quite frankly, by Spirit, we were just thinking, did they do it? Did they mentally break down?
Jadi kita
PSG
menunggu
LGD?
aja
But
ya
no, they walked
kan.
off, they regrouped. Everyone thought they were so stubborn with that Magnus, but they beat them.
Nobody expected that. Everybody was like, oh my god, they let Magnus through again. They're so stubborn. What are they doing? Literally everybody was wrong. I can tell you, I was sitting in that stadium. I was sitting in that stadium. Every single person was saying, what is wrong with them? I was reading Twitter. What is wrong with them? They let the Magnus through.
But that's why they're on Twitter. That's why they're in the stadium, and that's why they're not playing. Brian.
Experts.
Okay,
Experts.
so we talk about the fact that they lost the draft in Game 4, but we have to think about the mind games coming through this
Yes.
entire 4-game series so far. And they got Mag, lost with it to a Spectre, and then they're like, oh, we'll give LGD Mag this time. We'll pick Spectre. But it was the Undying with the Spectre that was really causing the issues. And it's just not, they lost to the way that they lost, which has to be some sort of mental defeat. I hope whatever I said made more sense than what Jenkins has been talking about.
Nothing makes sense. We're pretending. This is a facade. Nobody knows what's going on right now. Probably not even LGD or Spirit.
I think they have a little bit of an idea what's going on, right? So they let the Magnus through twice. They lost to it. I think they just didn't expect Spirit to be so strong. Like, they were coming off of their win against Secret, and they were feeling themselves, quite frankly.
Yeah.
They were playing so well. They kept up the tempo. They cast all their spells correctly. They played with confidence. But that Mag loss, that first one, broke them. And then to take it the next game and beat them with it convincingly, I'm worried about Spirit's mental state right now, actually, because this is where the difference in experience comes in between these 2 teams. Spirit are very young, and they probably didn't expect to make it this far. While LGD, they've been training for this for 2 years. So.
Yeah, I mean, they have so far there's been 2 TIs before this. This is the 3rd TI that there's a game 5 in a grand finals, and PSG has already experienced this. They were already in a game 5, Brian, with Ame actually as well.
It's a little bit different this time because in the previous one, they were up 2-1 going into Game 4. They were up by 15K, I believe, in Game 4, and OG made this crazy comeback. And instead, they've got all the momentum going in. I feel like they feel strategically superior. They're like, oh, those first 2 games, like whatever happened, shake it off. They had only lost 2 games throughout the entirety of the TI prior to that series. So I think LGD is in a way better spot going into Game 5.
Dude,
Lama!
broken. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I saw the cameras on them, and I was thinking, oh, God, they're done. They looked so broken. They looked sad. Their eyes were watery. And then that happens. I think the Tinker game was like a huge turning point. I think that draft was just a lot easier to execute. It gave them the taste for blood again. And then in the next game, it's just like, they're just back to like prime LGD. It's what they said in an interview. Like, they learned from the losses, and they're grateful to the enemy teams for giving them the opportunity to learn. And that's what I felt after the Tinker game.
Yeah, we heard from Zawait right after the draft, and he was saying that some of the things that he told the team in between games before Game 4 was don't be afraid. If we lose together, we lose together. And otherwise, we always have next year, Effie.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how you want your coach to be. But I think that right now, LGD are just in a position to take it all. And as amazing as Spirit's run has been, they've got the momentum now on LGD. And just hopefully, regardless of the outcome, both teams should be proud of themselves for what they've done today.
Yeah, we've highlighted Team Spirit a lot because obviously they were on match point for 2 games now. We are going to highlight PSG LGD a little bit more because now they are also on match point, and one of these 2 teams will take home $18 million and the World Championship and the Aegis. A lot on the line for this one game of Dota 2. So far, we only have 5 players in the world that have a 2-time TI championship to their names. If PSG LGD were to win this game 5, we'll have 7 in total because Faith Beyond and Y were on the winning roster of Wings in TI6. And they will also have a 100% win rate at TI because they have only played that TI6, Brian. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they're doing the OG, but instead of taking like 6 months off, they take 4 years off and just come back and win another TI. But, you know, we talk about the money. I'm a little bit of a math nerd myself. We're looking at $13 million between the 2 teams, between first and second.
Yes.
If it's like an average 40-minute game, that's about $300K a minute that they're playing the game of Dota. If you average 10 CS a minute, that seems pretty reasonable. That means every time you hit a creep, that's $30,000 if you win this game.
That's such a carry. That is such a carry way of breaking it down. Okay,
Just imagine that. 30K.
Perspective.
30K.
For every death, it's $300,000 for every death you feed. There's the offlane perspective.
It's more like $1 million. You're not gonna.
Sorry.
Actually, for you, you'd probably die that many times. Never.
He's right.
No, there is a lot of pressure indeed with the money on the line, with the prestige on the line as well, and on the flip side of perhaps having a 2-time champ, Nothing to Say has not been at a single TI yet. This is his first one, and he has a potential to become the next Royal Roader. The last Royal Roader we had was Thompson at TI8. Before that, it was GH at TI7. And before that, it was the full Wings lineup. But it is pretty crazy because all those names we hear time and time again, we talk about Thompson, GH. They're some of the best players in their roles, still are. And it just gives me a lot of giddiness for the season and the seasons to come, Effie.
And just speaking of Nothing to Say, he rose to prominence and kind of made himself known through Tinker. He was just a pub star who spammed Tinker, much to everyone's annoyance. And the hero that kept them in the TI Grand Finals was Tinker.
Turning point. Yep.
It's just everything goes back full circle. Every TI has some kind of magical story. And it's just incredible that we can see this level of Dota come out consistently from new players every year, it feels like.
It's very reminiscent of Thompson like Pugna.
I got a
breaking
thought.
it out in the last series.
All right.
Oh, no.
I believe that if you can turn around a best of 5 like this, if you do this when every CS is worth 30,000 goddamn dollars, then you should receive an honorary PhD in psychology from like Harvard or wherever.
I don't know if it works that way, but I
should.
will tell you that in TI Grand Finals history, it's never happened that someone did a reverse sweep. This year alone, we did see the reverse sweep with EG versus IG in the Grand Finals of the Singapore Major. Of course, it all started with that question mark.
They should get master's degrees. This is PhD.
I mean, it is being able to recover from that level of pressure and stress that is on that final game. But I also think that it is, with a game 5, Effie, it's very simple for Team Spirit to also probably reset because they have also been in this situation before.
I think every team is able to reset in a way, but we don't actually know what goes on behind the scenes in their in their little powwow, I guess, after the game goes on. But what we know right now is PSG LGD beat them when they were playing their hero and then took their hero and beat them with it. And now they've got the 2-game win momentum. And they also have first choice, right, for the next game. So it's looking a lot harder for Spirit than it is for PSG LGD this game.
It is looking pretty rough for Team Spirit as well, but they also know they've got a full region behind them. They are the first Eastern European team to be standing on these grand finals since 2013. It's been a long time coming. That being said, PSG LGD, of course, also having a lot of pressure because it has been quite a while since a Chinese team lifted that Aegis, and they know what it would mean to not just their organization and their team, but to the entire country if they were to indeed lift that Aegis. We'll see who gets to do it, though. We'll see who will take home that Aegis. It is going to be either Team Spirit or PSG LGD. It is one game of Dota 2. And I think it's going to be very important for both these teams to strip away these grand finals, to just relax. We see a lot of players, by the way, always take off their shoes. You know, they got to recreate how they feel when they play at home. In the past, we have had Ice taking off his pants because he preferred to play in his boxers, and that's allowed because you just got to make yourself comfortable. It is very important. Also, interesting fun fact for you all at home. I know you see sometimes players play with these heat packs. They've got these little heat packs to make their fingers warm. It is not actually cold in these booths. It's not cold. The reason they use these heat packs is because adrenaline makes your blood vessels tighter because, you know, you got to pump that blood real fast. But your extremities, your fingers, you need those to play the game. It's a sport with your hands, so you got to have those heat packs to make your blood vessels wide again. Did you know that, Jenkins?
No, I had absolutely a very bad knowledge of anything medical, which is why I was saying they should receive PhDs in medicine.
Those aren't even medical. PhDs are not medical.
Well, whatever. I think they should get a PhD in whatever the hell they want if they're going to reverse sweep a TI. But also, I feel like Team Spirit had all the odds stacked against them just a few games ago, and they're in the same position. So what the hell do we know?
They've been in several Game 3s, and we've watched them improve throughout the entire season. You've had the one team that's just consistently at the top, and the other one that's been rising from 4th place in Season 1 of DPC, where they didn't even qualify for the major. And it's all
qualifier team, bro.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you brought that up, BSJ, because even if you look at their DPC performance, they've just been slowly getting better. They've just been this team lurking in the shadows. Throughout the Animator, they impressed. They beat Liquid in their tiebreakers, right? They did so well in groups, better than anyone else expected. And in the DPC Season 2, they almost beat VP. It was such a close game. And when we come here, everyone's whispering about how Spirit have been so strong in scrims, but people kind of just let this team grow into something without us even knowing. It's just been awesome to watch.
An actual dark horse, not just a team where you don't want to feel bad by being like they're going to get eliminated. They're an actual dark horse
We
team.
can call them a dark dragon because they do have the dragon logo that is like black and white, so they're actually like dark dragon, right?
They've earned it at this point.
They
can be a
really
dragon.
did. Also, want to remind people of the words that Collapse had said right before their tournament. He was prompted with the question upper bracket, lower bracket, and he without hesitation said lower bracket. So he likes to be with the back against the wall, Brian. It makes him perform better.
Just give him a new hero. You know, give a new hero to Yatoro. I give Collapse, the Mag, the Tide. I don't care what's happened up until this point. Pull out your TI-8 OG. Pick exactly what your players want to play. I don't think strategy is going to matter nearly as much as we maybe give it credit for when this much is on the line.
Agreed. Pick your best heroes, and that's how they beat Secret today. They just pulled up. The draft was looking grim until they pulled out the last pick Storm for Toronto, Tokyo, and they absolutely destroyed with it. So just go for comfort, play like you're at home, and see what happens.
So you want Silent and Zhao to just go in those booths and have, guys, Game 5 of this TI-10 Grand Finals, everything's on the line. What do you want to play? Is it that simple?
Maybe.
It could be that simple. We are going to find out what is going to happen in this 5th and deciding and final game of TI-10. Let's go.
Team Spirit versus PSG LGD. Grand Finals, Game 5.
Hello everyone, welcome to the final draft panel of TI-10 because this is Game 5. One game to decide the entire tournament between these two teams.
This is literally the best game Dota has to offer.
It is. This is the best moment of the tournament. What do you guys hope to see from both teams coming in?
I mean, first and foremost, the best game of Dota possible, I think. That is what I want to see. I want to see both teams getting their comfort zone. I want to see both teams getting solid drafts and being able to fight full force and, you know, show the world and show themselves and us, like everybody, what they have to offer. That's what I want to see.
I mean, this is one of life's true magical miracle moments. This is people working their lives, years and hours
They
and so
did ban
much.
Tiny. Sorry. They did not ban Tiny.
Yeah, oh wow. They actually decide, okay, but Mag is also in. So this is something that we know that LGD, they chose first pick.
Yeah.
And most likely they were trying to force this Mag for nothing trade, or they believe that these guys were not going to counter the Mag
Dr.
correctly.
Tirta sebenarnya lagi bingung nih guys.
Team Spirit is changing it up one more time, which is really going to be awesome. But yeah, back to what I was going to say, because this is back against the wall for both teams. This is like the most pressure these people have probably ever been under in their whole lives. Or for Ahmed, like he's been so close twice now. I hope to see both teams just fully let go of everything that holds them back. Become a team, become the best humans you can, become like the best teammates that you can become, and play the best you can. This is your day. This is your moment. This is
Anjas,
for you to show
berkemarin
the world
first pick
what you
Magnus.
can do in Dota.
And it's amazing to witness. And I think we're going to get it because this opener from both teams, it shows us a lot of confidence. So I feel like the team, they found their momentum again, they found their form, and they found their confidence. And that's what matters at this point. And there's a lot to say actually about what's going on. So they really had the choice. And they ended up, so second pick has won, like game 1, 2, and 3, they were about second pick. LGD was forced back against the wall into a first pick scenario in the game 4 that we just witnessed. They took the mag, and they showed how they can make it work, and they can also counter it. This would show us game 3. Team Spirit in game 4, they showed that, in my opinion, they showed LGD they did not have the best understanding, and they're going for it, yeah, here. And I want to say how, like, in this game, LGD, they get their best strategy. Tiny is their best strategy. As we said before, they brought this Tiny to the meta. They were the team making it happen. They were the team abusing the Tiny with the Lycan. They know this better than anybody else. They have played the Tiny Lycan versus Secret the other day, and against the Secret Mag, and they made it work. Today, Team Spirit, they played versus the Secret Tiny with the Mag, and they won.
Yeah.
But, is LGD better at executing it than Secret? Maybe they are. You can only assume. This game will tell.
Yes. We learned firsthand about the LGD Lycan Tiny very early on before we got to TI. And this strategy, when you see it for the first time, you're like, oh boy, this reminds you of some of the other broken strats that you see come up around TI. And I think, it's nice. It's amazing that we get this in the game 5 and that somebody is manning up to LGD saying, we're giving you your best strat. Yeah. We're going to beat you. And
this is the team that theory crafted it. They are the inventors of Tiny and Tiny Lycan. It's scary to go up against it, and I like the Team Spirit confidence. They're getting their Collapse Magnus. One thing that has to be said is Rubik is getting banned. Like, this is going to be Collapse Magnus at its prime. Or it should be, right? Because so far, LGD, they have countered it with the Rubik. They understand how to break this cure action. Are they going to get the tools that they need in order to break this cure? We're yet to see. I think that's one of the kind of storyline of this draft. Miposhka Bane has been incredibly good. We saw also Bane dominate the game 4 for LGD. Bane versus Tiny, extremely interesting matchup. Why is that? Because Enfeeble actually reduces attack damage for 60%. It's really big. Tiny plays on this base damage. Actually, a Tiny that goes on somebody while being Enfeebled does ridiculously low damage, actually. It does counter him. It's a hero that's very undervalued, in my opinion, against Tiny. Of course, Bane into Lycan, it can be a little bit scary, but yet again, this is all about, this strategy, this Tiny strategy, is all about getting this Tiny to kind of a critical mass that nothing can deal with.
I do think that he will eventually get some plays, or if we're going to see it, and we're going to see it executed really well, you're also going to see the Lycan vision being used, and Lycan versus Bane, Lycan versus Mag, it's a lot about the vision. Ideally, LGD, they get to start the fight, either through the Tiny Shadow Blade or Bling, or something else, Tinker fits well in these kind of drafts, because you have the Lycan to enable you, and if you have a good lane, you can also have a stable game, and now your scaling is unreal. This is something that I think Team Spirit should keep in mind. They should keep in mind these Tinkers, they should keep in mind their best heroes, and also, for them, what are we going to do against this Tiny now? Are we trying to push him out of his comfort zone, play on early timings before he gets bitten and 20-minute shard and all those things? Or are we actually going to try to pick this Naix, Ursa? I saw Ursa ban. They're going to pick a hero like Faceless Void with the mag to try and take these fights later on against this monster.
Which style do you think is a better counter to the Tiny Lycan? Because this combos ran rampant during TI.
I'm in the Tiny boat. I am very much in the Tiny boat.
It's too much.
This is an Angel Arena hero. No. This is not a Dota hero.
You have to beat it before it hits its timings. Nothing beats it. Like, at least that's our read. Is like, you will not scale into this. It's not going to happen. Especially against LGD, they understand the timings. They're going to push it at the perfect time. They will not lose. They're not going to waste a single second in this game. As soon as they have the upper hand, they will. push it, they will end the game. You have to beat it before, and you can. This Tiny doesn't. Like, he actually, he mechanically cannot play quicker than the 20 minutes. It's just a Dota mechanic. He cannot buy the shard before minute 20.
I would argue there's a Shadow Blade timing that changes a little bit because he actually can defend this tower, surprise you, get solo kills. But other than that, like, you still want to abuse him because with this naked Shadow Blade or with something else like that, like one slow, one spell, you're at risk of dying and getting dragged into a bad fight. Okay.
They're just going for it. They're picking all three of the cores. In a
Yo.
row.
I'm not so sure it's a core. I mean, it might be. It might very well
Oh,
be.
you think it's a support Kunkka, maybe?
I'm not sure. I think it's very scary to pick the Kunkka like that. They maybe have a read where...
I think it's a stabilizing thing for them. I think they're actually so confident that this hero is not losing mid and is going to stabilize the mid game and the early game through his both fights. That would be my read on it.
I mean, I see it. It is, indeed, probably the best hero to stabilize the game for the Tiny Lycan because the holes of Tiny Lycan is... It's the first pick Tiny, it's the first phase Lycan. Like, these heroes are going to be... They should be punished on lanes. They should be punished in the game. You're just announcing, hey, this is a Tiny Lycan game. You know, so of course, the Team Spirit is going to try to abuse that. So these heroes are going to have to... Somebody's going to have to make space for them. You know, you want to consider that they're not going to have the perfect Tiny Lycan game or the opposing team kind of messed up the draft. So Kunkka is here to help them stabilize. You know, Kunkka's a great laner. The bolt is good in every game in the early fights and whatnot. So this could explain why they feel like we need to get our hands on this Kunkka, especially because the hero that they might pick later is going to get counterpicked anyway.
Didn't they only pick Yatoro's hero in the last 2 games that they lost early? Now they're again going back to picking his very late.
Yeah, and it makes sense with what a hero pool he's displayed on the main stage.
I'm just wondering what he's going to be playing now with all these bans that are coming out for him. Like, the heroes that I think, if they ban the Faceless Void now, I wonder what he's going to look at with this mag versus this Tiny.
So with these 8 heroes picked, which side do you favor going into these final picks?
I'm on the Tiny boat.
Yeah.
Just a Tiny boat?
Tiny Lycan boat.
If you want to break this Tiny, you have to abuse the fact that he comes online late. I mean, everything is relative, but he comes online post minute 20. Yeah. Same for the Lycan. He should have a bad lane. He's buying Ags, so all the gold that he, builds towards these Ags is useless. Lycan with 3k gold or just with the blade and the staff of wizard, like, it does nothing. When the Axe comes and the shard comes, this is when the power spike is crazy. But before that, these are 2 heroes that are actually really bad at fighting. They're really bad at, at stunning, at catching. They don't do much. So, and I think you have to use that opening. But so far, I think the Spirit heroes, I don't know if they truly do that.
And if you think about it from that perspective, I feel like Kunkka and Skyrath, you're trying to run at them, hit that strong timing, but they have the potential to burst anyone. And you have some Bane saves, some Winter Wyvern saves, but it might not be enough for Skyrath.
And I also think the Skyrath was a preemptive pick for Toronto.
Vlog bang, sin ko kada besok vlog niya.
If he wasn't going to play Invoker,
go vlog besok ya. Sin block, sin go block.
Always good against the Spirits. And I think they picked this knowing what's coming, knowing what this Dota game is already kind of shaping out to be. So I think it was also a good pick to, now you see this Ember, you see this Byron.
Ini BO5 BO3 setan.
That's going to happen.
Ini udah game terakhir.
Could happen.
To me, I feel like there's a hole though in LGD's draft in the sense that you pick Lycan into Mag Wyvern and you pick Tiny into Mag Wyvern, and Mag Wyvern, they have really good plays against that. And when they played against Secrets, they did play the same lineup. They played Tiny Lycan into Mag Wyvern, and they had a puck
nonton yo.
at messing with the backline.
Siapa yang dukung LGD ketik 1. Siapa yang dukung Dr. Tirta ketik 5 aja.
Kunkka and Skyrath, they don't do that. This Wyvern is gonna have
Dr. Tirta jago juga mid lane-nya, guys.
Same for the Max, same for the Bane, and that worries me a lot.
Gue pikir cuma sekedar dokter, ternyata bukan dokter sembarangan dokter, guys.
Today, and I think the whole in their draft was they had a Shadow Demon and the Lina with the Tiny and the Lycan, and these heroes don't really complement. They don't counter.
Skor berapa bang? Ini tuh lihat 2 sama, cok.
Something I want to mention actually is that they picked Meg and they banned Rubicon to protect it. I think this Kunkka pick actually came because X has a similar function. Like if Magnus gets a skewer and you X and redirect him, or you X your ally, you can stop that skewer play from coming in.
That's quite interesting. Yeah, you can actually.
Baru mulai ini game terakhir baru mulai sih.
Coming in. I think this hero.
Makan apa lu bang? Makan tadi makan bebe.
Something you can do is you can play really aggressive
bebe.
Enchantress. There's double range supports and a Magnus. This hero can actually snowball this game.
Punten, mamam.
It definitely can.
I like these types of Dota drafts. I really like these drafts that are a bit lackluster too. Like I'm a big fan of Skyrath, especially back in the day. But there's
Den, korek boleh, Den.
your AoE, your team.
Bawa aja korek, jauh-jauh.
TB the draft, okay. But still, they're banking everything on this Christmas tree wolf that's going to happen at some point.
Guys, kita pindahin ya, draftnya udah selesai draft.
Game, and this is also the end. It's just here to help that happen, to make that happen.
It really seems like LGD doubled down on we are going to secure the strongest 20-minute timing.
Yes.
and team spirit, I actually think that LGD is on a timer. If they cannot enforce this 20-minute timing and snowball the game, this is when the Wive and the TB Magnuses, they will scale.
Kalau misalkan LGD menang guys, catat Ame tahun depan udah gemuk, udah gak kurus guys.
That's an exciting matchup.
Soalnya dia guys, karena dia kurus karena kenapa? Pikiran guys, ngejuara-juara si Ame guys. Pikiran dia tuh.
And now we have the game 5 where they're matching up here.
I want to see Jules.
Kalau anak orang Dota tuh gak bakal pensi, Cok.
Collapse has proven you cannot play against.
Karena apa? Hadiahnya itu gak, hadiahnya itu kayak bangsa, Cok. Jadi orang itu gak bakal pensi kalau hadiahnya begini anjing. Ya itu gara-gara timnya itu. Mereka itu udah gara-gara udah gak.
Even if you have to go high ground, X the tiny, you hit the tower.
But then you have to create the situation where the
tiny is getting something
done. You know, in the mid game and stuff, it's not the same. It's exciting. Both teams have great tools to take it home.
Last time Poshka played Vyron, he owned the game.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. I mean, that's what we wish for. It's like, can both teams get a solid draft? Can they get their comfort? They did.
Negara apa yang main? Ini Cina sama.
So who do you guys think the most important hero on LGD is for
Gak ada negara-negara sih, tim guys, tim. Ya, cuma kalau LGD dari Cina. Kalau tim Cepirit ini dari apa ya guys? Dari Cheese. Apa itu Cheese? Di mana itu ada? Gak tahu gua guys, benua apa itu?
And for the team spirit side, do you think there's anyone who can sort of
begitulah, ini bukan pertandingan antar negara ini guys. Ini pertandingan antara tim, bukan antar negara. Ya. Tapi negara juga sih guys.
Thank you very much, AUI. Silent. This is the final game of the tournament.
Was lagi kapan main?
No need to hide strategy.
Cukup di game-game HP aja.
Strategy to win.
Luck. Our best strategy is just luck.
Your strategy is
just luck. Gak kuat guys. Mau RRQ Evos mau mengikuti do internasional. Udah mau jadi balut lagi guys. Kita itu dianggap mereka itu hanya minion, Cok. Kalau bandingkan Dota anjing. Minion kita.
Thank you very much, Sumi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the deciding Game 5 here at the TI-10 Grand Finals. Team Spirit.
Team Spirit.
GLGD. I'm Odie Pixel, joined, of course, once again by the fabulous Insania.
LGD mana suaranya? Kalian teriak harus ketik 2. Siapa yang teriak ketik 2 guys? LGD mana suaranya ketik 2. Kalau ketik 2 berarti dia teriak.
I think this is really even.
2. Ah, 2.
Both teams have different things going for themselves. I think if this game does scale up, if it goes very slowly, if the 20-minute timing from the Tiny isn't abused, then LGD's draft is going to just lack in power as the game scales up. I'm a little bit worried about how much the impact the Sky, Kunkka, Enchantress combo can have together around the map, and how well Team Spirit will be able to shut it down. I think runes, just like Silent said, luck, you know? And I don't think he was joking. Luck really does matter. If they get those power runes, it's going to be huge for them.
I mean, we saw as well from Spirit the sort of the very carefree attitude it worked out at the start of this series. I've been asked before the first game, you know, how the preparation was. Silent said, well, we didn't get to do much at all. We're just turning up to play and have a bit of fun. That fun certainly looked to be effective in Game 1 and Game 2, but Game 3 and Game 4, as we've just seen, PSG LGD, they have stepped it up. They've hit back hard, and now is the time to see if they can continue on the road to the reverse sweep, or Team Spirit can find that magic that was getting them through the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a battle of the mid laners come after laning phase. I think the laning phase is probably going to be fairly even. Both heroes will farm fairly well, but that 6-minute rune, Owen, I think whoever gets that 6-minute rune actually has a massive edge in this game.
Bangsa left di Bali,
get to decide what happens.
Ngerti maksudnya ngomong apa kalau ngomong sih enggak sih, tapi kok gameplay gue ngerti guys.
Runes already many times in the series, many times in the tournament itself. Both teams.
Bang, muka lu kok lucu anjir. Lebih lucu lagi kalau gue pakai paku itu guys.
Looking at the side lanes here, getting into the action. Who's having the rough time here in the early game?
I actually think most lanes are just going to be fairly farmy. The top side of the map, I think, is probably where you're going to see the most kind of action. There's a little bit of threat from the Tiny Edge to potentially make some sort of kill move. But I really think it's right now, you know, you want to get as much farm as you can out of the lanes before the supports have to rotate out. So I expect all 6 cores of this game to have a fairly decent start.
All right, well, we'll see if there's going to be any slip-ups in the laning stage.
Yeah. It's very even so far.
Mid lane. 11 for 1 against the 8 for 0.
Mama aku lolos M3. Siapa guys? Lolos
Quite
M3
the hit
belum.
from the Tidebringers. And nothing to say. Bottom lane, Xingqiu.
Twax!
Low here, but into the trees he goes. A TP away just in
Cursor, oh
time
yeah,
before
cursor,
Yutoro is able to hunt him down.
Yep, so the Metamorphosis has been popped, but they have link control up top. And the advantage of having
Gila
link
ya,
control is the
LGD ya.
TV can't really run you down with his range
LGD
attack the way he
guys ya.
wants to. So not the ideal position for this meta to be used. If you're able to use it right outside of your own tier 1 tower, you can kind of zone out any other hero to come into the lane. But
Nyampe jam berapa ini udah last game ini guys, last game ini TI. Siapa yang menang juara guys. Siapa yang menang ini guys ya, dia bawa pulang sebesar hampir 300 miliar ya. Catat. Siapa yang juara antara kedua tim ini bawa pulang sekitar hampir 300 miliar.
yeah, nothing to say is doing very well mid. I'm a little bit surprised at this. He's almost a full creep wave ahead.
Jadi buat kalian yang nggak tahu, cukuplah nggak tahu.
Yeah, doing a good job, making sure this top hard camp is blocked. Oh, here's
200 miliar lah guys, 200 miliar lebih.
See if he's got enough lockdown and damage to take this kill, and yes he does. At the same time in the mid lane, Toronto Tokyo very low there, has to get out of the range of a potential Tidebringer. He will, but there we have it. First blood up top.
400 miliar loh. Itu price pool cowok, ini masalahnya yang juara satunya. Kalian tuh perbedakan price pool sama yang juara satunya. Price pool itu total iya ya guys ya.
Nice sleight of fist.
Kalian bodoh banget cowok, dibilangin tuh kok kalian tuh kayak apa ya? Kayak batu gitu. Juara, gue ngomong juara satu bukan price pool ya. Kenapa sih ini orang-orang Indo ini kayak nggak mau denger dan membaca dengan baik? Gue bilang ini juara satunya, bukan totalnya, adik-adik. Udah cuki.
Yeah, and LGD really on top of refilling the bottle, right? You see, Toronto Tokyo's
komen di sini gak bakalan dibaca lah. Terus gua baca di mana? Baca di WhatsApp.
Forced to stay in their lanes right now. They
Gua udah baca di YouTube setan. Kau pikir yang komen cuma lu sendiri?
Already winning the lane, getting that free bottle refill. He's gonna be able to steal the small camp away from Ember. This is huge. Nothing to say is off to a great start in this game 5 of the grand final.
And it's very hard for Toronto Tokyo to do too much about it. Of course, Kunko early on. So HP is not going to be too scared of being burnt down by the Ember at the
juara satu 256 miliar dibagi 5 orang, tapi itu 256 miliar itu belum potong pajak negara. Taruhlah potong pajak guys, palingan 200 miliar lah mereka. 200 miliar potong sama timnya mungkin jadi 150 miliar lah mungkin. Nah, baru 150 miliar bagi 5. Kira-kira lah begitu ya, kira-kira. Bagi aja guys, 150 miliar bagi 5 orang.
Edge PSG LGD has had in this grand final is they're able to keep their safe lane really close to their tower constantly. They're not losing lane control on their safe lane, and it's allowing for them to have very good creep equilibrium, and that then in return makes Collapse forced to play much safer.
Oh, Simera not quite able to close the gap on the courier. Has left Collapse rather on his own. Nice little circle around the tree line. We'll keep Collapse away from the two.
Kalem bang, santai lah.
He's actually a player
santai,
that very
itu
often
memang
manages to
omong
get
gue
these
begitu
dupes where he
guys.
kind of takes a route
Kalau
that
nggak
people
ngegas
don't
itu
expect
bukan
him
bang
to,
sih, itunya bang pin.
and gets out of these tricky situations. Wonder if he can get out now though. Why
Kalian yang nggak mau ngegas di bang
pin. A fair bit of damage. Does still have the skewer for a follow-up impetus.
Gue kira lu left double, enggak cok. Ini di YouTube. YouTube. Kita nobar karena grand final guys. Kalau nggak grand final nggak bakal gua restream.
You can tell why these players are in the grand final.
Karena gue suka Dota juga. Gue cuma nonton Dota itu tiap TI doang. Karena TI itu paling enak ditonton guys. Semua tim itu kayak menjadi gila, jadi mantap.
Flies off to the side here, Toronto Tokyo. In fact, over in the triangle, they are able to catch out. Oh, in fact, well, he did deny the bounty ring, but it will cost him his life. Coming over for that one there as Team Spirit were prepared for that move.
So tahu bang Sin.
Karena
kan gue juga tahu guys, turnamen kuda dunia guys, ada pajak negara guys, bukan sok tahu. Gue pernah mengikutin. Walaupun gak juara, ada pajak negara. Potongan tim.
Yeah, now they've sort of shown their hand mid. It's going to be hard for them to make that play again. Top lane, the nightmare set up onto
gila bahaya coy, ini bisa Bisa jangan sampai tim Cepirit ya, jangan. Jangan sampai tim Cepirit.
Still trying to chase down Arme, but
Jangan sampai tim Cepirit.
Skewer already expended. There's no further threat here against the Tiny. Arme is going to be fine.
30 M orang.
That's good pressure though. They force them off of the lane. They finally have managed to get lane control up top, and
30
immediately
M,
when they
guys.
get it, they have the opportunity to pressure the Tiny. So force them off the wave, force them to go into the jungle, and he doesn't have any sustain, right? So he's gonna have to spend gold on things next region.
Rambut lu kayak gulali, Tot. Gak apa-apa kayak gulali, guys. Yang penting punya rambut, gak botak.
Moves from the supports of PSG.
Gak kayak si Yatoro botak, guys.
Counterplay attempted. Set up with the nightmare, but the TP's already coming over for nothing to say. He'll be ready to fight if Team Spirit push any further. And
Kalau
they'll
ngegas itu namanya
respect
sin
the
block.
potential of a
Sin
backup
goblok. Itu bukan
coming in for Arme.
sin block itu apa
They step
itu?
away to not be caught out by the combo of the
Goflok.
Kunkka.
Yeah, battle
Sin
of the power room
Gobloggers.
now resumes. It's about 30 seconds left, so both teams are talking
Nama
about
fullnya
which supports can we
TI
bring to the
apa,
rooms,
Bang?
who can be there in
Nama
time
fullnya
to
TI.
help out.
Nama
One haste,
kepanjangan
one DD,
TI
it can change
the
the flow of the game
internasional. Kok
entirely.
nama fullnya TI? Emang ini pertanyaan ini. Ini nih.
Toronto Tokyo also just sort of cutting the wave, maybe getting
Agak nggak sehat nih komennya ini.
in such a state that
Nama
he'll have that
fullnya
ability to
TI.
shoot the ring, but PSG LGD just
Woi,
fully on it.
kepanjangan
TD.
TI bukan nama full TI anjing.
This
Kau
allows
pikir
you
TI
now to have
punya
the
nama
damage to
full,
potentially
punya
burst the
farm
hero you
diam.
wouldn't be able to otherwise. In the
Marga,
bottom lane,
Marga
Facehouse really
TZC
trying to
mungkin
pressure
ya.
this tower. And now that he's forced out the Arctic burn from Imposhka, Imposhka has to be very safe. He can't really sit there and be
Kenapa sih
annoying
komennya
anymore
begitu?
and just continuously nuke the creeps. So expect this bottom tower to start falling. Meanwhile, top, Am is doing a great job of just defending.
He is. He's clearing out the wave, holding off the pressure. Something that Team Spirit can't quite do themselves here down bottom. Faith Beyond.
So here,
LGD gagal juara lagi. Jangan gitu, Cok. Gue kasihan lihat si Ame, Cok.
The Radiant team can't really defend their own bottom
Kemungkinan dia kalau
tower. So what
gagal
are they
juara
gonna
lagi
do?
ini, gue
They're
nggak
gonna
tahu
mirror
si
your
Ame
play.
ini mau
They're gonna go
ngapain,
in and
Cok.
attempt to take
Kasian banget tuh
top
Ame.
lane, tier 1 tower. So the smoke up here, it's a preemptive move in case Team Spirit tries to do something. But Spirit reads it perfectly. They are aware.
And making sure not to get caught out by these early moves as PSG LGD do start to slowly ramp up an early gold advantage. Now hitting the 1K lead, they'll be able to catch themselves.
Oke.
A lonely Bane in the
PSG.
river Mira.
PSG.
Yeah, and Yatora actually gives his position away. He used
Aduh,
the
si
reflection
Dr.
there, so
Tirta
now they
pakai
know the
berspirit,
Terrorblades in the
Cok.
triangle. And you can look bottom, Faith Beyond has absolutely no fear. There's no hero that could gank him in any shape, way, or form. So he's off to a really, really good start. And when we talked about the draft coming into it,
Jemput
it's
aman
all
do.
about timings, right?
Untuk sampai
So
saat
you
ini
want,
aman-aman aja,
ideally,
guys.
for him to
Kalau
finish
udah
up the
panjang,
tunnel, the
udah
Overlord, and the
kejepit-jepit
Aghanim Scepter
di
before 20 minutes.
kolor,
And if the
siap-siap
game
gunting
continues
aja,
the way
guys.
it is right
Jangan
now,
cukur.
it's highly
Nanti
likely to
gatel.
happen.
I'm in Spirit. I do want to try and put the pressure
Viewer
up
lu
top.
kok goblok
Try and push
Bang Sin
Arme
ya,
out of
gimana
this
nggak
top
goblok?
area
Gue
in the
juga
map.
goblok, guys.
See in the mid lane. Trying for the catch, but again, Toronto
Ikut
Tokyo
goblok
fully
juga
prepared.
lah.
Yeah.
Emang Kunkka masih enak. Kalau
are
kalian
aware
ke
that
Gosi
the
gue
boat
nggak
was
tahu
used,
guys
and
ya.
that
Kalau
means
gue
top tower is
nontonnya
very
masih
unlikely to be
ngerti-ngerti lah.
defended.
Kalau
It's
masalah
hard for them to get on top of Arme.
enak apa
Again,
enggak, gue
playing
nggak
smart
tahu.
with the Avalanche, putting a stop to the combo, and now time's been bought for PSG LGD to come around. Yatora immediately out with the TP. Doesn't want to be around here anymore. Mira will get found in the trees, though. Another death there on the Bane as PSG LGD continue to fight
Gue
back
PSG ya, Cok.
against Spirit's attempts to get
Gua dukung
something
gua
done
dukung
whilst the pushes
PSG
are coming in elsewhere from PSG LGD there.
The
Definitely getting a little
internasional
bit
sih.
more done in this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, they absolutely
Aduh.
are. And
Kepanjangan
third
Sin Awe
pick
itu
here on
dari
the
hero Ember
Lycan.
Spirit,
This
guys.
allows you to take away the
Kan kalau
level
main
4
masih
flame
Dota
guard from
1
the
itu
Ember,
Ember
which
Spirit
is his
namanya itu
major
Sin.
like fighting tool right now in the early game. So that gets purged immediately.
Lu
after
kemana do?
that, this tower
PSG,
is
PSG.
gone.
Look at this timing, yeah. 10
PSG
minutes, the
LGD.
second tier 1 tower. They're playing it fast, PSG LGD.
Bang, main Dota
LGD
ikut
have the
tur.
entire
Ya, mah
map
gue
to
main
play
Dota
with
ikut
right
tur
now.
mah tur
They're
kampung,
controlling
guys.
it's basically wherever they want to go, wherever they
Kalian
want to
tahu
kill,
sendiri ya,
is an
Dota
option for them.
saingannya itu.
And Team Spirit, they just have to try to play this map split game where they're dragging the PSG LGD heroes around and trying to get
Dota
Yatora to farm safely
Filipinnya,
behind everybody else.
Malaysianya, Singapurnya, ngeri-ngeri,
We're
Cok.
going to see with
Dota.
the space the collapse has got. He's going to have a good timing here on the blink dagger. I mean, how proactive do you expect to see them be here with this blink pickup? Is it an
Mapnya
immediate
bisa
smoke
luas
and
gitu.
an attempt for
Bukan
a kill?
luas, besar.
I think very likely they're going to try to
Besar
make some
dan
counter
luas.
move where like they try to set up a play where they expect LGD to do something and they know where their heroes are going to be, and then they're set up ready to take that fight. I don't really expect them to make some aggressive smoke, most likely around some enemy tower or in order to defend one of their own.
Pusing gue liat mapnya. Kan sama aja, guys.
Micro here.
Oh my god, Faith Beyond's being so annoying.
Game MOBA kok
Tokyo's trying to
pusing
farm
main
jungle
lihat
with
game
his strength,
MOBA.
but he's just purging it off
Gua mah pusing kalau lihat
every single
game
time.
And he's
tembak-tembak,
taking over the
guys.
camps himself, Faith Beyond here with the Wolves.
Bukan cuma Free Fire
Yeah,
doang.
and it's a tough
Mau
position to
PUBG,
be in. If
mau
you're Team
PB,
Spirit, you really
gua nggak
draft
bisa
this,
lihat
like,
game
very
FPS,
late game heavy
pusing.
draft. You know
Karena
it's
gua
gonna
tuh
take a
kebiasaan
long
main
time
game
for you to
MOBA.
come online. I think if you see a team like OG play December Spirit, he probably would have gone for more of a slight chain build and try to make moves, try to set up tempo, and try to break up the pace of the game. But Toronto Tokyo opted to go for the more farm heavy route. So their draft is going to come online much later than PSG LGD's, and that's why they're allowed to dominate the early game the way they have been.
Oke. Itu ke sebelah aja, dorong aja. Tutup lagi Om Bewok, tutup lagi. Udah di luar. Om Bewok tutup lagi pintu.
Yep. And if we take a look at the vision game, which we've been talking about so much during this series, because it's just so important. You notice
Oke LGD, mantap udah plus 2000
so there's
network.
extra 2 wards basically that are running around the map and providing vision for LGD. And then
Spirit
on top
negara
of that,
mana bang? Gua kurang
Team
tahu
Spirit
guys tim
wards are
Spirit.
so defensively placed. They're right outside of their own towers, protecting their triangle and protecting their tier 2 bottom tower. So it's not really giving them any information about what's going on in the game. They don't really see any heroes on these wards. Whilst LGD feel very comfortable moving around the map. So vision superiority definitely in favor of LGD. They understand what's going on the game right now much better than Team Spirit does. Team Spirit is playing exclusively off of game sense.
You can see the
bilang tutup pintunya.
because of that vision control. Smoke ups, they swing through the triangle here of Team Spirit. See if Spirit gets caught
Biar
out.
nggak ke situ
They don't,
baunya.
it's all right.
Man, he
to back
always
off.
sniffs it out. Yator is so good at sniffing it out, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's made the call for Collapse to back off as well. They're both out of here.
Yeah, and this is purely a game sense read. This is him looking at the minimap, understanding what LGD is doing, and responding to it perfectly. There was no information of that play coming. Wonderfully done.
Tim Indo gak ada yang lolos kawang. Kalau tim Indo mah
There's a little bit of
susah
a play
guys.
attempt
Kalau
set up
orang
in
Indo
bottom lane.
ada Seper sama
But they just don't
Boymon.
have the damage.
It's just
Dua
with the two
orang
of them. Not a job
masuk di tim Korea.
for the support
Iwan.
zone.
But look at Yatoro. He's
Dan
making his
mereka
way
udah
over.
udah kalah guys. Tapi setidaknya walaupun mereka kalah
Maybe
itu
indeed with the Terrorblade and the
mereka sudah
Metamorphosis, they could
bawa
get
pulang
the
satu orang
damage done
sekitar
if
2
they get a
miliar
crit
ya.
onto Arme. Here's tanky though, 2.4.
Banyak banget cuy
2400
2
HP.
miliar
He's got
anjing.
the Echo Saber,
2 miliar
the
itu bukan
treads.
2 juta anjing.
See if they can do it. Nightmare
2
setup.
miliar.
Instantly TPs are coming in. See if they can do the damage quick enough. Yatoro focusing down with the Metamorphosis.
Ketahuan
and the
yang pusing
illusions,
gak pernah
they'll
main
be able to
Dota.
take it. They kill off Arme. Mystic Flare's coming in, but Yatoro is able to sidestep it. PSG LGD, can they get a grab in return? Nothing to say.
Gua mah
Trying to charge
gak
in.
bakal pusing
See
game ini
Mirror
guys.
head into the trees,
Orang gua
trying to
main ini
distract
game
them from
7
the rest of them.
tahun.
But here comes the micro from White.
Nice.
He's able to lock down Maposhka here with a setup from
Tank,
the
tank,
sensor,
tank,
drag back into
tank.
the combo.
Widih.
Still trying his best to break the combo. Nothing to say here with the
Bajigur.
curse thrown out.
Tininya
Maposhka
mati tininya.
will still end up going down. Still though, Spirit, they'll take that. They got in.
Bang,
They're able to
kenal
take
ini
Arme off the
Rimka
map.
bang.
Yatoro is
Kalau
able to continue
kenal
to
sih
farm
enggak
here
guys.
with
Kalau
benefit
tahu iya.
collapse
Kalau
and the
kenal enggak
Empower.
guys.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Mau
right.
kenal
But
gimana,
they did
guys?
use both the
Orang
Lycan form
badut
and the
di
bow.
Dota.
And if we think about how LGD wants to
Menurut
play this
mereka
game,
kita tuh
it's important
badut
for them to
guys.
have their cooldowns to get big kills or get big moments. While Team Spirit are happy every time nothing's
mah udah
happening in the game,
8.000 ke
they feel like
atas.
they're getting ahead.
9.000
They feel like
malah.
progressing their game.
Kalau
And
gua
that's
mah
exactly what's
6.000-an.
going on now, right? They know there's no Lycan form, there's no bow,
Tahun
there's no team fight
2017
that's going to happen in the next 2 minutes.
6.900
And they're
solo
very happy about
MMR.
that.
Yeah, we're seeing as well Toronto, Tokyo
Dan
able
menurut
to
mereka tuh
silently play
6.000
his game
6.000
here.
itu
He's
mah
been
tuh
getting a
badut
lot of
menurut
space.
mereka ya.
See already with this time
Karena
with
sudah
the
beda
first
kelas.
time pick up the Yules, he's already rather hard for PSG LGD to catch.
Rusman ini ya cok
Javelin
ya, udah
on his
bener
way
di
towards the
ML,
Maelstrom.
balik
So
Dota
his game, his
lagi.
farm certainly going to be picking up.
Di ML
pretty
bisa
soon
siapa
here.
tahu bisa jadi
So
kayak
PSG
Seper
LGD are able to
kalau
find
rajin balik Dota lagi.
more action to keep this league going. Arme in the neighborhood.
Gak tahu ya
ready to
cok ini
brawl in the
Rusman ini
jungle, but
kenapa.
Spirit give it to them. But so far in this game 5, Spirit they've returned to sort of that fantastic ability to read the moves.
Padahal
and
sudah
just
banyak
avoid
bukti loh.
any
Orang-orang
sort
yang
of
gagal-gagal di
engagement that is
Dota di
not
Indo itu udah pada
preferable for them to be
pindah
involved in.
Mobile
Yeah,
Legend.
and I think when you're playing some sort of like
Emang kalau
Enchanted
masalah
Skyrim
kasta,
type
masalah
draft, you
kasta
want
emang
to be
Dota
getting kills
tinggi
right now.
kasta.
You want to be punishing
Tapi
them.
kan
And if
kalau
you take a
masalah
look at the
mau
graphs, it's been about
kesuksesan
a 2
itu
to
ya
3k lead for most of
di
the
game
game.
MOBA sih.
They're not really progressing on LGD's side. Yes, they're ahead, but they're not getting more ahead. And with their style of draft, you want to be getting more ahead as the game progresses. So
Bang,
it's looking
rata-rata
like
match-nya
that
berapa
20-minute
menit?
timing really is going to be
Kalau
everything
biasanya
for them.
rata-rata
Absolutely,
biasanya
especially
sih
now
yang
with
gua
the shadow
nonton
blade
rata-rata
done.
itu
I mean, he is
40
ready
menit
to be an
rata-rata.
incredible killer at this
Cuma
stage,
kalau
of
game
course,
paling
the
cepat
power of
itu
Tiny. Ready to rock and roll.
ya 40 menit
Yeah,
sih.
I think the 2 supports
Tadi
from Team
40
Spirit are
menit
going to be
tadi kalau nggak
really,
salah.
really important for this upcoming team fight. Because if Bane is able to get a
Ya,
grip on the
biasanya sih
Tiny
ya
for long enough for
50,
TB to take good
tergantung gantung lah.
positioning and output damage, that might just be enough for them.
Gak ada 20 menit ya.
If this Tiny
Cuma
goes
Mobile Legends
down,
itu 20 menit.
PSG LGD's draft has nothing. It's all about Ame.
This time around, Mira Miposhka having collapsed by their
Ada
side.
Seven maju suruh main Dota lagi, cupu mereka guys. Makanya mereka
He's just
pindah
got
ML.
himself Xingqiu behind him. Setting up with the Shadow Blade in preparation to clear out the wave. We'll see if Spirit hang around to try and hunt him down.
Yeah, Miposhka with the read.
Sama
He does have a sentry. Oof. Looks like he might.
Yuk, sadar. Yang cupu di Dota, yuk. Bukan cupu
So if we take a look at items, you see the Winter Wire is building the blink.
4.000 5.000
He
ya.
understands one good curse.
Dan rank tinggi
It's
nih,
almost
bos.
getting the one good spell off. So
Kalau
having the
rank
position, he's
4.000
staying back and
5.000 mah.
blinking at the right moment.
Ngentit.
That's going to be what he's going for. And
Kita
they're giving him
main-mainin.
space, right? They're letting Miposhka sit down here to try to finish up the blink. They understand how important this is.
Absolutely.
Kalau
It's
di
going to be
7.000
huge,
ke atas
these
tuh yang kita
curses.
jadi
Against a lineup where
badut guys.
you're running these 3 melee cores that want to be charged.
Coba main offense do. Skip guys, skip.
Possibilities for a huge turnaround Winter's Curse to come out in these team fights.
Yeah, there definitely is. And if you look at Yatoro, he's building
Bang
up.
di kami ini kalau di kami 3-2 sini gue mau ketawa nih tim Spirit. Wok tim Spirit udah mengharap menang. Wok.
The tiny initiates on anything but him. He might just
Bak.
stay alive. The one person who's really not getting any farm in this game right now is Collapse. He's kind of
Ini tuh
understood
TI
that, you know what,
bukan guys,
I'm
ini
just
bukan
gonna get my
TI,
charge,
ini
and I'm
M1.
gonna be happy with that. If I can have it by 20 minutes,
Ini M1
that's
guys
everything
di
in it.
Malaysia ini.
We've seen before from Collapse how much he can get done with limited resources. This man's Magnus, certainly something to be feared. Something that got tripped up in the game, of course, where Xingqiu had the Rubik to deal with it.
Dicariin Vincent Tundo.
Something
Kenapa
that isn't,
dia?
of course, here this time round. So a bit more free of a game for Collapse to make his moves occur.
Yeah, I feel like both teams are just waiting for this 20 minutes. I mean, if the pacing keeps going like this, I mean, LGD is going to hit their timing, and then you really got to look at that team fight. The nice thing about having so much time right now is I expect Team Spirit to be really ready for that fight when it comes. But look at this. LGD is
free
gonna try to make a
farm.
move right before it.
Yeah.
Ya,
Here they
si
go.
botak ya,
Ancient Thunderhide
si
leading the
Yatoro.
charge. Of course, we'll be spotted out here by
Bahaya sih
Spirit.
guys kalau lawan
I'll know that there's
teroblet ginian.
likely going to be some action following it.
Great read from Spirit again. And look up top. Yatoro's just farming. 5 heroes committed down here for LGD. But Yatoro has the space that he wants.
Can they get a grab underneath the
Moba
tier 2 tower?
kagak ada
Xingqiu
block
looking
creep.
to say they're gonna try
Gua dulu
to
guys.
go with the
Pas
RP
pertama kali main Mobile Legend, gua ngeblock creep anjing, gua gini. Gua gak bisa gituan. Bangsat. Kalau di Dota itu jago gua kalau masalah block creep. Mau di mid, mau di offlane, mau di carry. Woi. Aduh. Jangan, aduh. Ya. Kenapa? Ayolah, aduh. Jangan tim Spirit, Cok.
To the Thunderhide of Faith Beyond, but of course that will also get claimed by Yatoro, so more money for them on the
Jangan tim
defense.
Spirit,
An
Cok.
aggressive dive underneath the
Gue
tier
pengen
2
lihat LGD
tower.
menang, bukan
But
masalah
we
gue
get the
kalah
turnaround
taruhan.
is
Kalau kalah taruhan
absolutely
biarin
there.
aja
Yatoro
guys.
is able to get involved.
Gue cuma
And
pengen lihat
PSG
tim
they
LGD
get
juara
punished.
ini, biar
Yeah,
kasihan
beautifully
si
done
Ame
by,
itu.
Team Spirit.
Gak pernah
But keep
juara
in mind,
dia.
RP was expended. Metamorphosis was expended. 20 minutes timing
Jago,
coming up.
iya
and
jago
Rune Farm
banget.
is available too.
Juara,
So, huge
enggak.
rune. Arcane rune for Ember. This could be a game-winning rune for him.
Sama ke RRQ.
And yeah, I
Jago,
think
iya
we're supposed to
jago.
see that Lycan form come up.
Tapi
Expect them to make
gak
some
pernah
kind of move.
juara
Actually, Tiny's missing 1,000
MMM,
gold for his
cuma
short,
juara
so
lokal.
probably not
Gojek
going to be able
pula.
to use this timing. So great fight for Spirit all around. Like proving that they can kill the Tiny is huge for them.
I mean, Miposhka's maybe
Toronto Tirta
already
OP,
leading into more
yeah,
action.
emang gitu.
Got the Winter's Curse at the ready. Both Toronto, Tokyo, and Collapse up here, ready to play around him as well.
Yeah, Faith Beyond's about 1,000 gold away from the Ags.
Collapse. He's got that on toss. He's got that setup. Quick catch and a drag back on as Xingqiu gets him in
Lebih
reach
jagoan
of the
lah.
rest of the team. They've got to watch out for these pickoffs. This is something that Collapse was tearing them
Kayak
apart
lu
with
dong, Bang.
earlier in the
Iyalah.
series.
Yep, and Collapse is
Kanya
recognized.
gue
You know,
bilang guys.
the idea from LGD here is to silence him when he blinks into Horn.
Tapi mah gak apa-apa guys, masih baru juga main Mobile Legend. Tapi si Ame ini guys,
But this time around,
gak
they're
tahu
just
dia
gonna
dari
try to
zaman
use
kapan
this
dia main
silence
Dota.
So what does he do? He goes for the sky.
Piala
Great
toke.
game understanding from Collapse.
Straight into the pit now as well. Even just with the one member down with no Sky, no Xingqiu.
Bang sedih enggak sih guys? Kalau bang sedih enggak sih guys? Kalau belum juara ya belum rezeki aja.
I feel like the pacing of the game right now, it really does favor Team Spirit. And they expect LGD to make some kind of move to try
Siapa
to break
dapat
it up. I
Rosan?
think they can't just let them fall out this
Aduh, si
5-minute AS.
botak Rosan
Expect
guys.
something to happen before that.
Dapat Aegis dia. Botak,
Such a
si
calm before the storm
botak.
kind of moment, I feel
Ya
like.
Toro,
Front
si
of Tokyo is just slowly farming up his
botak.
items. I mean, this Ember Spirit's been a beast this event, and he's only 1,000 gold off of his own Aghanims. And then after that comes a shard, and then there's just
Kalau
fire
gue
remnants
lebih ke
everywhere.
LOL daripada Dota, ya udah main LOL aja.
And he hasn't been caught yet this
Gak ada
game.
juga yang maksa lu main
1-0-3.
Dota.
Struggled to contain Toronto Tokyo in this early stage. He's also going to have that DD rune ready for the next fight.
Ibus Dr. Tirta serius banget mainnya
Some of
pakai
these
Ember
heroes on the
Spirit.
back line, they're not going to stand much of a chance at all, Jinkyu.
Oke.
And why? They better be pretty scared.
Lo jemput Deden aman nggak? Gak tahu
Yeah, the
guys, gak ada
positioning of
jemput
the
kayaknya
supports,
Deden.
it's really, I think, the story
Masih
of this
bulu-bulu
game. 'Cause
nyawa.
both front lines are so tanky. I don't really think they're going to go down
Gue
without the
tadi
assistance
perasaan
of the supports from both sides. So Miposhka and Mira going up against Y and Xingqiu. They both have very, very tough positions to be in. You're going to have Ember remnanting into your backline, chasing the Skywrath, chasing the Enchantress. And at the same time, if Tiny gets on top of you, you're just dead. If he gets eyes on you, you're gone.
And here's that time. So
Juta
we've got
doang
the
kok
axe
press
ready.
pullnya.
On Faith
4 juta
Beyond.
doang tambah dolarnya.
Ready to make the move
Buset.
here. As you say, they don't want to be held back by the idea that Yatoro's got an Aegis. They want to fight regardless into it.
Yeah, they understand. If we wait too long, then Yatoro's going to be too strong. And here we go.
Here we go, Arme.
Bang, gua fans Miracle.
They
Kalau
see him.
kalau kalian
Success
fans
here.
orang wajar guys.
Looking towards
Miracle emang
Yatoro.
fansnya banyak banget
Oscar
Miracle.
Toronto Tokyo and
Wajar.
Collapse setting up across the cliffside as Y will be the first to get poked upon. See how Team Spirit want to tackle this.
There's a DD on
Looking for
Toronto
Ox's
Tokyo.
Collapse. He's in, instantly caught out by the Ancient Seal. So no skewer to follow. Y.
Chains, back up.
Mati dong
Anything they can do to
Enchantress.
save their Enchantress. I mean, does Y need saving at all? He's going to need to. As the Nightmare holds him back.
Yeah, Wolf Form both used on Lycan as well as Tiny.
BO berapa bang?
So,
BO
this
5 guys.
means
Ini last
full
game, ini last
reset.
game.
Now, Team Spirit are in control of the pace. They get to
Siapa
decide
yang
what
menang
happens
dia
in this
membawa
game.
pulang
They
uang
can push
sebesar
Aegis,
250
Metamorphosis
miliar.
ready for use here. Tier 2s could be on the table for Team Spirit.
Potong semua, bersih di mereka
Looking
di
for
player
some
ya
kind of
paling
pick-off.
150
They know
miliar.
LGD can't fight back if they get on top of their heroes right now.
They've got their eyes on mid. Yatoro starting to rack up the gold again after the Skadi. 2,800.
Emang ya si Valve ya.
Butterfly queued up, knows that they're not going to be wanting to
Lord
pick up
Gaben
any
bos.
sort of truth
Bikin
stroke.
turnamen nggak
Anytime
tanggung-tanggung.
soon here on the heroes of PSG LGD, the evasion would be
Ngaji dulu
huge.
ke Muntun ya kan. Siapa tahu dia naikin
I
hadiah
wonder if
Mobile
it's enough, though. I
Entot
like the
kan
idea
naik
of the
banyak.
Satanic more. Yeah, he's going for the
Valve,
Satanic.
bos.
I really like this, because if he can survive
Bikin
the Tiny
turnamen
combo, if he can get through it,
langsung
you purge off the silence from the Skywrath, you can get one hit off and then Sunder.
Yeah, the dispel's beautiful.
Bang, sistem hyper Dota ada
I mean,
nggak?
if you're a Team Spirit
Ada
fan,
guys,
you're very
di
happy
Dota
with the
10
pacing of
ada.
this game. You saw LGD being
Kalau kalian
unable
kalau
to
main
use
Dota
their first
10
timing
itu
of the
harus
game
pakai
to really do
handphone
anything. So,
iPhone 20.
if this keeps happening like 2-3 more times, then you're in the late game, and
Muka lu kayak
Team
kontol.
Spirit geared up to take
Baru
that late
sadar
game.
lu. Baru sadar lu.
Ready to set up top. Toronto
Baru
Tokyo
sadar lu muka
is
gue kayak kontol.
ready to go. See
Tenang
if
guys,
he
kalian
can
mau
get
kata-katain gue gak apa-apa ya. Yang penting satu, jangan ras dan Sarah ya. Kalian mau kata-katain muka gue kayak kontol, muka gue kayak apa bodo amat gue guys. Jangan ras dan Sarah guys. Oke,
dangerous
mantap.
position will ask the cause.
Bacot boleh bacot.
Able to farm on the
Penting
safer
jangan ras
side of
dan
the map.
Sarah.
I think Team Spirit
Mana
are
Den?
gonna
Korek,
look for
Den.
the smoke for this bottom triangle ward. This is a ward that they usually fight around when they have it, so let's see what they do. It looks like they're moving over. Gem on Miposhka. They understand the importance of the vision this game. And there's no tombstone this time, right? They don't have that kind of team fight vision tool on Team Spirit as they did, or sorry, on LGD as they did in the previous two
Kenapa
games.
emang? Kan pop
Now
gue itu.
they're relying on the wolves. So having the gem
Masak aja lu.
secures you that there's no wolves on top of you. They don't see where you're moving. They don't know what's going on. So great item pickup by Miposhka, understanding the importance of it. It's a tense game.
I mean, you know the Team Spirit's got the solid jump, but PSG LGD, they've got the hard hit. If they can get in with the tiny wolf, we're going to see Collapse come in. He's in with the horn toss. He's going to look to separate. Nothing to say for the rest of the team. Feeds from as well, locking down the Kunga.
Aduh, ini sih menang. Ngentot
Nothing to
lah.
say, out for a minute.
Hero system Spirit nih OP banget lagi dapatnya. Magnus. Terror Blade. Tambah Ember Spirit.
Yeah, it's hard to fight.
Aduh.
One of their most farmed cores right now in the game. They need them all up, really, to tackle Team Spirit head on.
Kalau kalah lagi sih, gue nggak mau dukung lagi lu Ame. Gua di depan gue mau dukung tim lain, udah nggak mau dukung lu lagi. Gue ada berapa Udah
jump
3
away from
tahun
some of
atau 4 tahun gua dukung lu ya, pengen gue liat lu, gue pengen liat lu juara. Ame. Aduh, kalah sih ini guys.
Great recognition there. You know, Tiny initiates on you top. What does that mean? That means
Kalau
there's
tim
no
udah
heroes
BKB
with
udah
the
kelar
fight.
sih.
Immediately dives in.
Udah pasti
Wherever the
BKB
Tiny is
lah.
not,
BKB,
Team Spirit have massive
Ice
freedom.
of
to make moves.
Skadi,
Tiny,
Satani.
it's really all about this Tiny. And 2 last wolf forms have not gone PSG LGD's way. I feel like the game is slowly
Dah.
swinging into Team Spirit's favor, and they're kind of
Udah
getting past
cukingan
that
ah.
impossible timing.
Udah cukingan
of finding
LGD.
this Tiny.
Mati lagi. Sip aja gua mah. Download gimana bang gamenya? Download Steam dulu guys.
Yeah, if you're PSG
Steam terus
LGD
ada
right
Dota
now,
2
you
ya
really
udah kan
gotta try to
Dota
find
2
a way
aja. Udah.
to catch Team Spirit off guard. But they have the gem. They're setting up their vision smartly. They're playing around where they can see the dire heroes. If you look at the minimap, look at where they're positioned.
Sebenarnya sini
Bottom
guys
side
kalau
of the
lihat
map,
dari
2 hill wards here to
draft
cover
picknya
any
si
sort of
ini
entrance
ya
that LGD try to make.
menang tim
So
Spirit
they're
guys.
always aware of what's
Cuma
going
gua nggak mau
on. Very smart
tim
positioning on the
Spirit
map here.
menang.
Team Spirit recognize that as long as we
Ah,
just
tim
delay the
Spirit
game,
menang.
we don't feed, we don't give away anything for free.
Tim
we're in a good
Spirit make
position.
ember
Yafra will
Spirit.
carry us.
Tajir banget si apa? Terror Blade anjing. Si botak.
Maybe push down a threat in another tier 2 tower. I see the setup looking for Toronto Tokyo.
Yes, ini si Karbitan.
He senses
Guys,
something's up.
Karbitan apa sih? Kan kita kan sekedar mendukung guys. 4 tahun gue dukung dia ini guys. Gue pengen lihat juara gitu.
Toro now beating on the bottom tier 2 tower.
Dia
Doesn't
juga
get
kagak
any
ngerti
sort of
gue ngomong
response.
apa dia.
Means now they
Si
expect
Ame
most of
ini.
the LGD heroes to be on the top side of the map.
I mean, they've got Metamorphosis up in 10 seconds. Can they start to poke the high ground, or is... Now, how aggressive do you want to get with these pushes?
It's a scary decision to make. I don't envy carry players that have to make this decision at this position in the game, but...
Are they going to make the call to commit?
Tuaks
Metamorphosis is up
LGD
for
los.
Yotoro.
Ya jing.
How hard does he want to push it?
Bajingan
in the face
LGD.
of PSG LGD. Doesn't look
Skip.
like they want to.
I think
Dukung
the
lagi
idea here
skip.
is to try to force the LGD heroes back into the base.
Gue restream
so
nih
that they
gara-gara
then can
mau
play
pengen
around
lihat
their own
lu.
wards
Gue pikir
and then
lu.
potentially move over
Ini
to the
mana
top side,
bener-bener
remove any
udah
sort
bener
of
nih
vision
guys.
LGD has,
Dijuluki
and
sebagai
then
raja
get back
terakhir.
control that way. And you
Karena
know,
kan
with
kan
these
raja
illusions
terakhir kan
pushing
pasti
safely,
ujung-ujungnya kalah kan kok raja terakhir. Raja terakhir berarti dia tuh musuh. Ujung-ujungnya kalah. Nah, pantas aja dijuluki raja terakhir. Karena raja terakhir itu pasti nanti dia kalah. Nah ini LGD raja terakhir.
Ancient Steel for now onto Yotoro. He's looking to back up and reset inside the base. Toronto Tokyo. He's diving in. Past the tier 3s. He's able to take out nothing to say. Looking at Remnant over to the side. He's got his eyes over towards Y. Or maybe even more actually. He's holding on to that. Not jumping back quite yet. As they've killed off 2. And with 2 dead, they may just have the room here to push up to the high ground. Yotoro. He's stepping up. Still a bit longer with the Metamorphosis left. They're taking this tier 3 tower. There's going to have to be buybacks. Jinkyu back into the game.
Juara di
Tier 3
mimpi.
taken here. Some damage being done to the Rex as well. No Kunkka for
Lama banget
40
bang.
seconds.
Yeah,
Lemah
and no
juga
wolf
Dota
fight.
guys.
He finds a grab. Jumps in. Drags back on the Skyraft main. Jinkyu.
Ah,
He's
Spirit cocok.
another man down on PSG LGD. Spirit. They'll keep the push going. And you've got to be careful. You know, Collapse is looking for another one. There it is. He's in. Drag back on one.
Aduh.
He just
One
can't
by
stop
one.
finding them Collapse.
Mati.
Every single time, pick off after pick off. You can't stand anywhere near Spirit.
No, you absolutely can't. And Yatoro's recognizing, you know, I don't have meta. I don't have my strongest spell.
Mereka
but
udah nggak
neither do
mungkin
they.
kal GG
And
guys. Soalnya
he's just
udah
pushing
game
it here.
terakhir kan.
I think they're gonna keep going for this buildings.
Tetap sampai
They do
hancur
not seem
base.
afraid. There's so much confidence right now in how they're playing. They get the buyback. He's been X-marked, but he has 3,000 HP.
He's so tanky. Sunder, Satanic at the ready if he ever feels threatened.
But look at this. LGD are coming in from behind. They recognize that they can't go on the front line. They need to catch the backline heroes.
They're going to try and go for the easy kill first, or at least the easier, maybe. But no, it's not. TP out
Gila
there,
si tim
able to
underdog.
stop it. Arme's
Ini
in
mah
with the combo.
udah
They catch the Bane, they need more, though,
80%
nothing to
menang
say,
tim
the team.
Spirit. Dah lah.
Doesn't look like they're going to get it.
Dah lah.
So Poshka's off into
Udah
the
cuki.
trees. They won't be able to find him to
Dah
stop
lah.
that escape. Team Spirit.
Kalau
they
kita udah
take
semangat,
the
udah
Rex,
pakai
they take the tier
yel-yel
3 in the
padahal
mid
kita
lane.
tadi.
They only end up losing a Bane,
Yel-yel
pushing them up now to an
LGD win,
8k
padahal udah
lead
pakai yel-yel kita.
against PSG LGD.
Yel-yel
And
kagak
once
guna
again,
anjing,
both the
bikin
wolf
abis
forms
suara
are
gua
expanded.
lu.
So do you know what that means? Roshan's available. Metamorphosis is ready in 10 seconds.
4 tahun gua
Spirit
dukung
keep an eye
gitu,
out.
4 tahun gua dukung LGD kagak juara-juara
Harder to
setan.
deal with Yotoro now. He's got the full silver edge done, so the ability to sort of
4
duck in and out
tahun
of
gua
fights.
dukung lu ya anjing, gak juara-juara lu.
He is going to be a right
Kampret.
nightmare to deal with.
Pret.
You see Arme's farm not too far behind. but you definitely feel that at
Dokter
the
Tirta
moment,
gigi banget,
with the
Cok.
timings that they've hit, Spirit
Gue
as
curiga
a
ini
unit
udah nggak
are so
ngedokter
much
lagi.
harder
Gue
to
curiga
deal with
habis juara ini,
than it is
guys.
for them to take down PSG LGD.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's reflected in the way that Alm is playing. But he's about to get caught here at the top lane.
There's Collapse. In with the horn toss, dropping the RP. The BKB was out in time. He's into the invis. But the physical, is it going to be enough here from this Terrorblade? Yatoro is
Lu
focusing
ngebet
down
LGD
on
ya? Gue ngebet LGD guys, cuma gue nggak peduli guys. Kalah guys.
They're ready to
Kalah
chase for
bet
more
mah gue
Collapse. Steering
nggak
in
terlalu
close
masalah gue.
distance on to Jinchu. They've caught the
Gue cuma pengen lihat LGD
Set up
win aja
the
guys.
cast. They're ready to close up on
Kasian
the
si
back
Ame
as
ini.
well.
Amenya yang kasian.
Third kill here. Skewer from Collapse. Back into the
Sudah
claws
kalah
of
sih.
Spirit.
Team Spirit has lasted through.
Mungkin karena lu dukung makanya gak menang bang. Oke tahun depan guys ya. Catat tahun depan kalau misalkan LGD sampai grand final gue nggak dukung LGD guys. Catat ya tahun depan lagi. See you tahun depan ya.
There's no buyback. It's only nothing to say. And why left here for the defense? As Team Spirit.
Dah LGD udah diem.
They've got a fortification, but there's still those long seconds before they get their two cores back in the game. PSG LGD.
They're going to have to try to do something.
Iya.
I don't think they have enough time to wait for Tiny to respawn.
See how carefully Team Spirit play it.
Anjing Ame mentok runner up. Iya makanya gue bilang ini mereka raja terakhir cok.
They can push this Spirit. They don't need a back. 20 seconds without Arme. They're going to look for more grabs before they close it up.
Dah gigi.
Jinchu goes down. Nothing to say as well. HX point, nothing to say, has a buyback. 8 seconds until Arme with the Ancient. They're looking to close it up.
They're
They
hitting
can
the
taste the
Ancient.
championship. They can taste the money, but the
There's no
backdoor
creeps.
protection
There's
kicks
no
in.
creeps.
The backdoor protection is in. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. PSG LGD, they'll start now to force Spirit back out the base. Miposhka will get himself out with the
Belum deh.
Just need to reset Spirit.
Belum. Tapi
They're trying to get out. Faith Beyond's on top of Mira though.
belum.
They've got the curse. Holding back the
Belum
Lycan.
tapi kalah.
Why? Being a bit of a nuisance off to the side.
Belum tapi kalah cok.
Impetus onto Mira, but why? Chased down by Collapse. You saw it.
Belum tapi kalah.
Toronto,
Cuman
Tokyo,
dibikin
long
lama
ladder.
dikit aja.
Chase, holds it back, but now with the BKB armor.
He has buyback though.
Straight back in with the Remnant. Gets instantly caught out with the Torrent. Well, the silence as well. Jump forward. Collapse. BKB. Sewer back. Into the clutches of Yatoro. Yatoro. They're going to be able to lock him down with the RP. Where's the detection? Where's the detection?
No detection.
They need to see him. They don't get to see him. Arme, he's going to live. He's going to turn towards Mira. He's still very low here. And then a slight change. They get him.
He
They
has
finish him
buyback,
off. Oh, nothing to say.
What a TP.
What a TP. He's
Oh
out. He's
my God.
alive.
So no buyback on Toronto Tokyo. No buyback on Faith
Oh,
Beyond.
boy.
No buyback on Ame.
Oh, my goodness.
There is a Roshan.
Anjing
There
gara
is-
buyback 7 orang 8 orang.
Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Oh,
I mean, it was so close. But the backdoor protection kicks in. PSG LGD
berapa
are
orang
able
buyback
to
tadi ya?
pull together a defense. They lose their tier
Lupa dah.
4s,
Bodo amat.
but the
Sampai
Ancient
buyback.
still stands.
Yep, Satanic used Sunder as well. You can feel the nerves. I can feel it. It's just so much on the line. Just one sentry word could have won them the game there, but support's unfortunately not able to get into range.
Let's see what they can do around this pit. They're still down 16k PSG LGD, but they've got all their ults up. Can they make any sort of steal? They've already managed to set up here onto the Kunkka. They're going to go straight to it. Yatoro coming in with the BKB. The Cars holds back Arme on the side. Nothing to say. He's going to go down.
Buka
For
mati.
110. Yatoro's ready to step over to his next target. He's looking over towards Arme. Collapse. Popping the BKB. Maposhka keeping himself alive with a cold embrace. Spirit. They'll turn over towards Arme, but Arme's still got the BKB to go. He's killed off another support. He's looking at Toronto Tokyo. Toronto Tokyo
cuma
bites
cok.
up the He's got another remnant. Slight this into the remnant up to the high ground. He's away. Both
Arme's
teams again.
chasing.
Yeah, sneaking around under the cover of these silver edges. Watching one another.
Metamorphosis is out, but so is the two wolf forms. It's both teams taking it safe right now. But look at why. He's stuck
Oh.
on the cliff.
Why?
Dude, look at how carefully they're playing it. They're scared to walk up here and try to kill him.
Why? It's like, oh, they got him.
There we go.
They'll take him off the cliff.
But look at Roche!
Oh.
Armin's killing Roche!
Oh, no, he can't do it, surely. Blink out time, Collapse. He's got his eyes on him. Still nothing to say or why for 50
Armin's
seconds.
alone!
He's gone in alone. That was a risky move. He's got the back of a
Ini
Jinju.
apa lagi?
But Spirit, they're going to chase on. Slight chase.
Mana
Oh,
gua
yes,
tahu
go
lu.
on. 2 minutes, no Tiny.
Ya, udah guys.
Get exposed. Spirit.
Ah,
Walk over the
Kunkka
wall.
mati ini mati guys.
They're not waiting for the creeps.
Pos 1 sama pos 2 nya mati guys.
Only two left. Can they stop a PSG LGD? I don't think they can. GQ's got it over. It's over.
Nice try LGD. Juara TI. Dr. Tirta juara TI, guys. Itu draft mereka OP anjing, draft mereka bangsat. Nice. Dr. Tirta the best banget, Cok. Dr. Tirta anjing. LGD spesialis runner up. Itu makanya gue bilang si raja terakhir. Kalian kalau main game kan pasti kalian kalau main pasti lawan raja terakhir. Nah ini LGD ini raja terakhir, guys. Mentok-mentok runner up terus. Ya ini si raja terakhir.
Like Seb touched on, Lycan, Tiny, they invented this. This was the most dominant combo of this tournament.
Skor berapa? 3-2 ya. Dimenangkan oleh tim Spirit. Kasian banget, Cok. Nangis lagi. Ame nangis lagi, Ame. Gua rasa senang dan sedih, Cok, kalau lihat mereka turnamen gini anjing. Tim mereka ini yang pertama. Mereka ini udah masuk TI baru 1 kali kan, Ode? Ini mereka ini. Kalau tim Spirit udah lama sih setahu gue, cuman orang-orangnya ini baru masuk TI. Anjas. Gila, bos. Ngeri anjing. Dr. Tirta, bos. Dr. Tirta, bos. Woo! Woo! Tim underdog ini, bos. Tuh kalian aja botak nih, botak pakai terus. Botak teroblet. Iya, si botak. Botak! Woi botak lu, oke amat lu botak, woi. Lu berarti gak boleh tumbuh rambut lu ya botak ya. Tetaplah botak. Sebab botak itu bikin lu menang. Tetaplah Anda botak, janganlah kau piara rambut lagi ya. Kalau udah tumbuh sedikit pun langsung dibotak lagi, botak. Gila emang. Oke, bawa pulang 250 miliar. Dan ada guys, kalian mau ada kata-kata ke buat Ame guys. Ame mental aman. Ame mental aman.
It's all because of our manager.
Botak is magic.
Team. He invite me.
Aduh, gila cocok.
They're about to take some pictures.
But I don't know. It's just because we made
ngeri banget, Jake.
A lot of work, hard work. Also, we had a bootcamp before that international, and that was the hardest bootcamp I ever had. So. Actually, I don't know. It just happens.
It just happens. He said the manager. He said the boot camp. He said the team. It just
GG tim Spirit, Cok. Kasian banget si raja terakhir. Apalagi si Ame udah pensi. Ini botak ini sih.
I have no idea.
Botak OP sih botak tadi.
I don't even know what to say. So I have no idea. Maybe we're gonna think about this later, but right now I don't really know what we're gonna do. Maybe even someone will broke. I forgot word.
All right, you are going to come back next year and defend your title, right?
I wanted to say maybe someone gonna leave from Dota. I'm not really thinking. No, I'm not really sure that it's not gonna happen. You know, because such a big price. And do you really need to play Dota now after this? So I have no idea who gone.
Main dulu lah. Kenapa tidur?
I hope you understand.
Kenapa tidur?
Oh, absolutely.
Lah,
There
jam
is so
2
much
screen.
going on right now. You just won a huge tournament,
Hah?
the biggest tournament. So to
Kontol.
not know is totally
Mana ada?
fine. Look at your teammates. They are celebrating right now.
Pikir GH
Do
anjing.
you have anything that you want to say to your fans?
Ame, sabar Ame, ayo yuk, Mobile Legend yuk. Ame, Mobile Legend Dokter Tirta nangis, Dokter Tirta udah duduk.
Who supported us.
Ayo Ame yuk bisa yuk. Yuk Ame Mobile Legend.
A lot of people.
Ame mau boleh Ame Mobile Legend Ame. Siapa tahu. Botak. Weh.
Thank you for everything. Thank you all.
Ame. Anjir mau langsung pensi tuh Ame tuh udah Ame tuh terlalu kasihan Ame itu, Cok. Berapa tahun anjing dia gitu-gitu mulu. PSG 3 kali final ambiar KB.
And now, back to you.
Aduh. Ame main Esme aja Ame boy yuk Ame. Spam Esme Ame spam Esme. Aduh kasian banget Cok. Sedih banget gue liat LGD ini. Inilah kenapa guys gue dukung LGD ini. 4 tahun Cok. Gue dukung. Kagak juara-juara.
$500,000 to their name.
Dah guys, kita off dulu guys. Off. Thank you guys. Thank you.
This team has been fantastic. They
Thank
delivered some
you semuanya. Kita berpisah malam ini dengan kekalahan si LGD guys. Kita ketemu lagi tahun depan di grand final ya. Ame, semoga kamu masih lanjut Ame. Belum juara lu Ame. Belum juara. Lanjut. Oke. Thank you guys. Kita off dulu.